Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get it. Let's get it, nigga. Yeah. Are y'all ready? Gang green shit. Beef shit, nigga. Rated nation shit, nigga. The nation stand the fuck up. Where all my Raider fans at? Silver and black shit in the building. We in the building. 50 shit, nigga. Yeah. Let's get it. Let's get it. Stand fuck Raider nation. Stand up. Silver and black, nigga.
Listen up, Pluto. Listen up, Pluto.
Raider nation, we in this bed, Haitian, silver and black, but I'm wearing it. Pull up to the game, niggas know we want smoke. All that BS, we ain't hearing it. Fourth quarter fresh, hit a second win. Max with the sack, let's get it in. But do with the bomb, going for the win. At the 1 yard, they finna punch it in. Take a minute. Excellence, just me, baby. You say you're Jersey thing, baby. Got the whole crowd bouncing like springs, baby. Next shit got me feeling 26, maybe. Shit, 26 finna be crazy.
Listen up, Pluto. Listen up, Pluto.
Can't forget Coops up in this bitch. Gotta put some respect on my nigga name. See the last 8 games, you gon' do the same. Ain't shit changed. At the table started dancing like Rick James. Some games got stressed, so I'm smoking on the packs. His ass niggas always trolling in the chat. Mine's always on, I got a nigga kicking hats. They keep my shit clean, yeah, nigga, that's a fact. Get my channel took, nah, I ain't never mad. Shit can get real, watch a real nigga black like a black hole. Niggas hating on me cause I'm that bold. Yeah, I'm a beast nigga up in that mode. Put my heart on my goals, watch it unfold. Got a lot of stories that was untold.
Listen up, Pluto. Listen up, Pluto.
Raider nation, call me nation. Call me. Raider nation, call me nation. I need money, call me. Hey, I'm gonna be doing that from now on. I don't give a damn if they flag me or not. Fuck it. Raider nation, we in this bed. Silver and black, yeah, we wearing it. You feel me? Pull up to the game, you know they won't smoke. Or that BS, we ain't hearing it. Yes, sir. It is time, y'all, finally. And let me get the intro going. What's goody? Back with another one, cause you know Raider Nation needed another one. We in the building. Raiders_football be the channel. This is the Yurp show. I am your host, Yurp Jers. We in the building. Draft night. What's goody, everybody? My man Frank in the building. He was jiving, man. My man was rocking to the music, man. Definitely, man. Shout out to my brother. Shout out to Big Bro. Look, man, your boy's sweating over here. So, y'all, what it do, everyone? What it do? We are in the building. Sorry, had a long day at work, but I'm good, though. I'm good to go. I'm good to go like the car insurance here. Yes, sir. So, the only way I was able to watch this draft is if I was to do it on Hulu. So
Let's bring out the men who paved the way to greatness.
Right.
A
So,
Hall of Famer, a true shutdown corner, a piece of the steel curtain. What?
who? We don't know. We don't care about him.
Now, let's talk some playmakers, some Super Bowl MVPs. Lynn Swann and Hines Ward.
Shout out Hines Ward. I like Hines Ward.
Let's go! And now,
They screaming Hines Ward ain't got his jersey.
two quarterbacks, two eras, one standard, Super Bowl champions, and legends of the city. Ben Roethlisberger.
I want to talk about Greg. That's what I'm saying. Shout out to Greg in the building.
And one more.
Who the fuck is
Terry
that?
Bradshaw.
Is that Big Ben? Damn, Big Ben lost mad weight, yo.
This is Steelers football. Go Steelers.
Yo, Steelers. Man, fuck all that bullshit, man. Fuck all that bullshit.
Okay, these players forge the path for the next generation of stars.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I wish I was down there,
National
out there.
Football League.
One of these
Starting
years, I'm
tonight.
going to the draft. Maybe next year.
Pittsburgh.
Next year's draft.
This is a moment you all been waiting for.
No, this is the moment the Raiders
Kids
been
ready?
waiting for. What they talking about?
All right. The 2026 NFL Draft is officially open. The Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock.
I was right. I said less than 15 minutes.
Oh, boy.
Raiders are on the clock, y'all.
Well, it cannot possibly get any more Pittsburgh than that. Terry Bradshaw, Ben Roethlisberger, Mel Blount, Lynn Swann, Steeler legends on the stage to open up the festivities tonight. Not a lot of mystery at number one, but certainly a huge story. As Frank waits to hear his name called, Adam Schefter, there are a lot of threads connecting him to the Raiders tonight. Schefter.
Well, Brady, before last season began, Fernando Mendoza reached out to former NFL quarterbacks coach Brian Greasy to help him get ready for his NFL career. They had connections before, and more have come into focus now. They both attended Christopher Columbus High School in Miami. They both led their colleges to national championships. Mendoza, Indiana, and Greasy at Michigan, where his
Look at the
backup
guy.
was Tom Brady.
Fernando
Mendoza in Las Vegas and in San Francisco. Brian Greasy worked side by side with an assistant coach named Clint Kubiak, who now becomes the Raiders head coach and will help usher along Mendoza. These connections have helped Mendoza get to the moment he is now. Their connections from Christopher Columbus High School in Miami to Tom Brady and Clint Kubiak in Las Vegas. Mendoza is set to hit the ground running.
Schefter, obviously a special night, and you will hear from Mendoza as soon as his name is called. And Mel, he will join this prestigious list of names in just a matter of moments. The only players ever to win the Heisman, win the national championship, and be the number one overall pick. Cam Newton, Jameis Winston, Joe Burrow, and in just a few moments, Fernando Mendoza. So, Mel, you and I, we do the first draft podcast all year long with Field Yates. At the beginning of this season, I don't think anyone was expecting that Fernando Mendoza would be the first pick in this draft.
We were talking Arch Manning with the trifecta, which was, right, Heisman Trophy, national championship, and number one pick overall. Then it went to Dante Moore. He had that great game against Penn State up at Happy Valley late September. Then Fernando Mendoza goes from Cal to Indiana. You're watching him to see improve. Does he cut that sack total down? Goes 41 sacks at Cal in 11 games. Yes, he did. 25 sacks in 16 games. Clutch throws like that to Omar Cooper Jr. But a guy decision-making, late in plays, like right here. Flawless. Cracking the the code. He talked about that. How about mobility? How about beating teams with his legs? Look at him in the pocket here. He waited out. Accurate throws to all levels. This kid, when he needed to come through in the clutch, he did game after game. So he ascended from late first, second round, all the way up where you were not going to deny that Fernando Mendoza was the best quarterback in this group and the best player overall right there with Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame. And to do what he did, the hits that he withstood, amazing toughness, the mobility. He had against Penn State, a quarterback draw for 10 yards on third, an 18-yard touchdown run. Everybody covered, taking up the middle for a touchdown against Penn State. Getting that touchdown run on the quarterback draw against Miami. So change of direction.
It was fire, but that shit hurt at the same
Make no
time.
mistake about it. The Las Vegas Raiders are fortunate that they had the number one pick, and there's a quarterback there of the quality of Fernando Mendoza. Historically, who's his grades? Eli Manning, same grade as Eli, same grade as Matt Ryan. That's Fernando Mendoza.
You know, when they start hugging and shit, they clapping it up to pick his head.
Of this caliber there, in a division with Mahomes and Herbert and Nick, you cannot be a distant fourth. You got to be right there, and this young man with that supporting cast that they're building with the Raiders has a chance to get there and match those quarterbacks in the AFC.
No one questions that he's the number one, but he's not a perfect prospect. What things are you looking for?
Well, it's a couple of concerns. He led the nation in RPOs, and so there was a lot of predetermined stuff before him, before the ball was ever snapped. He threw a lot of back shoulder fades, and so when you're talking about how the NFL is going to make you play, the NFL is going to make you play post snap. A lot of what he did was pre-snap. That's number one. And number two, guys, it's really simple. When you're the number one overall pick, you're going to be asked to carry the mail. You're going to be asked to be Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, Cam Newton, Joe Burrow. Do we see this quarterback becoming one of those guys that can carry the team? Because when you're the first pick, you're going to be asked to do that at some point.
Well, look, I don't think that he is uniquely qualified to go ahead and carry the football team. When I went out to Indiana for their pro day, the number one thing that they said was, do not underestimate his leadership ability. There's another guy who exuded tremendous leadership ability during his time in the NFL, and that was Drew Bledsoe up overall as well, who had about 6'5", 240 pounds. Quite honestly, I played against Bledsoe. He looked just like Fernando Mendoza. The deep ball, the ability to throw it on time, in rhythm, put it with touch, throw it with touch, and be able to just drop it in the bucket where wide receivers can catch and finish the play. Drew Bledsoe, you're going to see it here. This is old school tape now. It's the kind of tape that I love, Mel. This old AstroTurf, the kind that would just rip the skin off of it. Drew Bledsoe used to deal back then. Fernando Mendoza is going to deal for the Las Vegas Raiders. They should be absolutely ecstatic that they got someone of this talent.
Did anybody think that Joe Burrow or Peyton Manning could carry a team when they came out? I don't think so. There were questions, right? They answered those questions because they got a lot of help from their teammates.
Fernando Mendoza led Indiana to the greatest season ever in history. I think he can handle it.
Fernando Mendoza was not born the last time the Raiders won a playoff game. That was January 19th of 2003. Mendoza was born in October of that year, and he has been waiting seemingly every day since for the moment that is now about to arrive. The commissioner on his way to the podium to announce the first pick in this 2026 NFL draft.
How boom the commissioner ever gets
With
over
the
here.
first pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Fernando Mendoza,
Let's go!
Indiana.
Yeah! Let's go, baby. Ooh, it's about to go down. Ooh, it's about to be going crazy. Ooh. Ooh, let's go, man.
There's the party at his house, both inside and as you see there outside. And then a celebration is also on at Christopher Columbus High School nearby, where Fernando Mendoza once starred. That's a celebration and a nearby watch party as well. Listen, if there has been a better story in college football history than Indiana in 2025, I have not heard it, and Fernando Mendoza had the starting role. Here is tonight, finally, the #1 pick in the draft, and he is standing by now with our Taylor McGregor for his initial impressions on being the #1 pick in this draft. Taylor.
Well, thank you so much. In the last 5 months, you have won the Heisman Trophy, a national championship, and now you're the first overall pick in the NFL draft. How have the last 5 months changed your life?
The last 5 months has been such a blessing by God, and I can't thank him enough. I'm just looking forward to get to work, prove it at the next level. College was fantastic. I'm so blessed to have that career, but now I step into a great game of the NFL. Look forward to proving and earning it every single day.
You're going to the Las Vegas Raiders. What excites you the most about this opportunity?
What a great organization, great legacy. There's so many great teammates I'm looking forward to talking to, coaches, owners. I'm ecstatic for the opportunity.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much. God bless.
And so Fernando Mendoza, the #1 pick in the draft, that's the portion of the evening that we had foreseen. Now let the unexpected begin. Mel Kiper, the New York Jets go on the clock, and pretty much all the
we got our coach, we got our guy.
Two defensive ends,
got our guy,
David Bailey and Arvell Reese. What are your expectations for the Jets here?
Arvell Reese, I'll tell you what, you look at him physically, he is central casting for a off-ball linebacker and edge rusher. Can he become Micah Parsons, move outside and get 10 to 15 sacks a year? We don't know that. He has to learn, as he said, how to rush the passer. He didn't have a sack over the final 6 games. He didn't have a forced fumble in his career, but he made a lot of big plays. He's got a ton of talent, off ball or edge. You got the fallback. If he can't become the great edge rusher, he's an off-ball linebacker. With David Bailey, he was a good player at Stanford. He wasn't a great player. He was a phenomenal player at Texas Tech in this one season. He had help around him, but 11 games this year, he had a sack. Now, playing a run, that's going to be something he's obviously just doing in the NFL. You can't be a one-trick pony in the NFL. You can't. So you have enough of that with the Jets. Somebody's got to stop the run. He's got to step up with he's the guy. Reese, to me, I had a slightly higher grade on than Bailey for that reason. He is so young. He's 2 years younger, Reese is, than David Bailey. He's 20. He'll be 21 in September. David Bailey is going to be 23 in September. So for me, slight edge to Arvell Reese. I had Sonny Styles slightly ahead of David Bailey as well. But I'll tell you what, you want the guy proven and ready to go off the edge. It's Bailey. You want the guy that in a year or two, once he learns, can be phenomenal, can be Micah Parsons-like. That's Arvell Reese.
For a team like the New York Jets that hadn't had an interception since I had hair, they need somebody that can rush the passer and make the football come out. I understand what Arvell Reese is, and he may be, the sky's the limit for him, but they need somebody now that can make the ball come out. David Bailey is a proven commodity. We had this conversation a few years ago. Aiden Hutchinson or Trayvon Walker? Do you want the ceiling and the potential, or do you want the guy that knows how to get it done and the protection of a David Bailey? I'm going to lean toward David Bailey with the 14.5 sacks. So,
Look, I mean, the statistics are not in the Jets' favor. You're right. Sack percentage, pressure percentage, they're one of the worst in the NFL. You know what else they were worse in terms of taking the ball away? People who can make plays on the ball, getting absolutely bludgeoned in the middle of the field by running backs. They were the worst defense in the NFL as far as linebacker play on the second level. They need both of these guys. The question is, what do they prioritize?
The pick is here. And I'll remind you, the Jets have 2 picks in the first round tonight. They will be at number 16, barring a trade, either forward or back. But here they are to make the second pick in the draft as the commissioner makes his way to the microphone where he will announce the New York Jets selection.
Who y'all think the Jets get? Reese or Bailey?
With the second pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select David Bailey, linebacker, Texas Tech.
There he is, New York. He's the first Texas Tech player selected in the top 5 in the common draft era. And boy, do the Jets need him. They had only 26 sacks last year, 31st in the NFL. And Bailey was a beast. 14 and a half sacks for a ferocious defense that led the Red Raiders to the 4th seed in the college football playoff. 5 for the most sacks in the nation. Bailey was a consensus All-American. He transferred Mel after graduating from Stanford. He did. He had 8 forced fumbles over the last 2 years. 5 in 2024 at Stanford. 3 this past year. He became a dominant edge rusher at Texas Tech. He had some help. Inside defensive tackle. Good player. Had Romello Height on the other side. He had
had Jacob Rodriguez off ball. He had defensive backs who were transferring in to help that defense. But David Bailey took his game to a new level. As I said, in 11 games, he got a sack. The consistency was there. He's got to step up against the run. And for the Jets, that's going to be a big factor on whether he is a Pro Bowl caliber player. If you're drafting number 2, and then
Mendoza era
you got to have that type of ability. He's got to show that right away.
Oh, no doubt. And I think if you look at the Jets, they decided they want somebody that can get it done now. It's nothing against Robert Reese, but David Bailey has shown you from Stanford to Texas Tech that he can get it done and be an immediate pass rusher in the National Football League. So what is he going to bring to the New York Jets that are going from a 4-3 male to a 3-4? Let's start with something that I love. You have to be able to threaten the offensive tackle with the get off. Can you get off before the tackle moves and the ball is snapped? That gives you an opportunity to get your rush going, and then you get the rip and you get to the quarterback. That's an easy win. Can you bend the corner? That requires athletic ability, ankle flexion, dipping the inside shoulder, and then you have to have the burst to get to the quarterback and to finish. And here's the thing that I love. It's an array of moves. Why is he the best pass rusher? Not only can he beat you with speed, here's the spin move. All you need is a fastball and a counter Lewis. He's got the speed and the spin. He's the most ready-made rusher for the Jets.
Oh, yeah, and he went up against some pretty darn good tackles as well. He went up against Arizona State Fano at Utah. And the thing is, he can set the edge against the run. He just needs to do it more consistent.
All right, again, a player the Jets desperately need. They will select again later in this first round. But right now, Marriott Bonvoy takes us down to Laura, who's standing by with David Bailey.
David, you've worked so hard for this, and now you're the first defensive player off the board in the NFL draft. What does it mean to hear your name called this early?
It's surreal to me, man. This is a great experience. I'm so grateful, man. Shout out to the fans that came out here. I'm just happy to be here.
How will you immediately impact this Jets defense?
Man, I just want to get in there and just be a sponge, just soak up everything, just rely on the vets, rely on the staff to make me the best player I can and help out this organization. Man, I feel like this organization is training me the right way. So, man, I'm just ready to work.
All right, and David, in the last minute, Topps has made your first pro trading card, so go over there and sign it, okay? Congrats.
Laura, thank you very much. David Bailey is a New York Jet. The Arizona Cardinals are on the clock, and Adam Schefter is standing by with more. Schefter, go.
The Jets had 26 sacks last year, which was the fewest the team had had since 1999. They were looking for the best pass rusher in this draft, and they felt that was David Bailey. It also helped that they had 3 coaches on staff who were at Stanford when David Bailey was there. Those coaches helped bring a unique insight to the Jets that helped them make the pick that they helped turn around this franchise.
So, Lewis, you were talking about Bailey before we went down to the interview there. Do you believe the Jets got this right? It was a difficult decision, or at least it was one that was much discussed in New York and around them between Bailey and Arvell Reese. In the end, before we move forward to the Cardinals, do you agree with the decision the Jets made?
Yeah, I do, simply because of this. Look, offenses hunt for explosive plays, right? Every offensive coordinator wants to be able to win a game with a guy who can win it on one play. On defense, how do you win games on one play? Either you turn it over or you put a quarterback on its back. Nobody put the quarterback on their back better than David Bailey. So that's where they figure that's a great place to start. Let's get the best pass rusher in the NFL, or rather in college football last year. We project he'll be able to do that in the NFL. He has to earn the right to rush the passer. He's got to take care of first and second down. We've seen with those long arms that he has, he's more than capable of setting the edge. And they're going to demand that so he can then go ahead and do what he does best, which is win games by putting quarterbacks down.
Okay, we told you the cadence is going to be quicker this year, only 8 minutes rather than 10 in between picks. So now the Arizona Cardinals on the clock now, and as they make their selection, there's been so much speculation about the possibility they go to the running back here. Is this too early for Jeremiah Love to come off the board?
Absolutely not. He's the second best player on my board. He's right there with Fernando Mendoza. What's this team need? They need juice. They need to energize the fan base. They have no identity. It's a bland football team, right? That's the Arizona Cardinals. But it's Jeremiah Love. He's much more than a running back. As I said, you could put 84 on that jersey. Could have been a first-round pick. Slot, wide, he could catch the ball. He had runs of 36 or more yards in 7 games. He had runs of 29 or more yards in 8 games in 2024. He's 20 years of age. He never fumbled. He's a great young man for Arizona. If he were just a running back, he had fumbling issues and he gets the ball. No way. But the be as multidimensional as this kid is, you got to get the offensive line going. You got to get a quarterback in that division with Darnold, Stafford, and Purdy. They got work to do, but this kid is going to automatically get Marvin Harrison to step up a little bit. This kid can play big-time football. Regardless, just getting a little help.
All right, we will find out if indeed that is the selection that they make. We'd anticipated perhaps a trade up to this spot. Does not appear we've had that. The Cardinals pick is indeed in. The Titans are on the clock, and the commissioner is making his walk to the podium to announce pick number 3. The Arizona Cardinals fans standing in anticipation.
With the third pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Jeremiah Love, running back, Notre Dame.
Jeremiah Love went to Arizona.
They really did it. We had heard so much speculation over the last few weeks that this would be the selection. And there it is. What a special season Jeremiah Love had for the Irish last year. Over 1,600 yards, a total offense, and a school record 21 touchdowns. A unanimous All-American, third of the Heisman, the first Notre Dame player ever to win the Doak Walker Award as the top running back in the nation. And now, Mel, he is the third pick. Lewis, I should say, in the...
But every single offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, running back coach, head coach wants guys who can win games with one swing. Jeremiah Love is that. He's more than a running back. I know people don't want to believe it, but he's more than a running back. He is a weapon. He's a guy who can create a 20-yard explosive at the blink of an eye, and you see it right there. This is 2 years ago. We watched Saquon Barkley hoist the Philadelphia Eagles on his back with his ability to create explosives in the run game. That is what Arizona is after. This draft has got some pretty good offensive line depth. They're going to have to go to work. And look, they don't play football till September, but they better fix the offensive line. There's no question about that. But you cannot pass up guys like this. If you told the Arizona Cardinals, hey, we'll give you Christian McCaffrey, we'll give you Bijan Robinson, we'll give you Jahmyr Gibbs, do you think they wouldn't take them right now in a heartbeat? Those guys are difference makers. That fits right into that mold. I cannot wait to see him go ahead and infuse that organization with some juice, Mel, like you talked about. That's what he's going to bring.
He's fear factor all the way. And he's going to make defensive coordinators. That's the Westwood record. Now, okay, where's he going to be? In a backfield slot? Where he wants to pick up the football? What I want to see is remember Chargers got LaDainian Tomlinson, then Drew Brees. That's a Ty Simpson's going to be Drew Brees. You're going to pair Jeremiah Love with Ty Simpson by trading into the late first or taking him at number 34.
So now let's take a look at Jeremiah Love as he joins the commissioner. He's the third running back selected in the top 3 in the last 20 years, joining Saquon Barkley and Trent Richardson.
You see it, kid. Remember Tony Dorsett, 99 yards on a Monday night against the Vikings? This kid in a blink. You watch him here. What is he going to do? He's going to take it to the house. This kid is awesome. He's dynamic. He had, like I say, all those runs, over 29 yards, 36 of 15 runs the last 2 years that were game breakers. He caught the ball. You watch him. So smart a football player out in the backfield. Catches everything that after the catch. Forget about it. As I said, never fumbled the football at Notre Dame.
We always had this conversation. Love the player. The Arizona Cardinals, we're supposed to build our team inside out, front to back. They got James Conner, they got Tyler Earth in the offseason, now you have Jeremiah Love. It just seems to me they're going about this, building this team in a different way than I would do. I love the player, but I disagree with the pick for Arizona.
Well, look, they still do need to build their team front to back, and they need to be strong down the middle. But again, there's the line in this stretch that they're going to have to go to work on and try and get so much, but you can't pass this kid.
Let's go down to the stage. Marriott Bonvoy brings us there. Laura is standing by with Jeremiah Love. Laura.
Jeremiah, your dad was your first ever coach. He's instilled so much confidence in you over the years. How special is this night and this moment for the two of you?
It's very special. You know, my dad was the first person that believed in me. And, man, he did sacrifice a lot to get me to this point. So I got to pay him back, got to pay my family back. And I'm looking forward to get to work in Arizona. You feel me?
I feel you. You are the first running back to be taken in the top 5 since 2018. Why will your skill set translate to the NFL?
I mean, it's just a blessing. You know, I feel very honored to represent the running backs and put on for them. I'm put on for all football players. I'm put on for Notre Dame. I'm put on for my family. And last year, I'm put on for the Cardinals. We're going to just put the things together.
Congratulations, Jeremiah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And look, they did the same thing he did. Took a running back.
Jeremiah Love and Mel Kiper, you have been saying for years you don't draft a running back in the first round, and now all of a sudden here you are celebrating the selection of a running back by the Arizona Cardinals at number 3. I don't even know who you are anymore.
Adapter guy, Brady, right? That's what they say. But I'm adapted to big-time all-purpose backs, and that's what he is. I disagree with you, folks. On this note, you talk about a guy, first, second best player in the draft. He's number 2 for me, right there with Mendoza. You're picking 3rd overall. You can't reach for a CC Maui, no tackle out of Miami. You can't reach for any of the offensive linemen. You got a guy in your top 3, Jeremiah Love. Then you got to fix the offensive line.
All right, and so let's move it forward now. The Tennessee Titans will be making their selection. In fact, I see on the screen behind me that their pick is in. With new coach Robert Saleh, you see him there in the center. They go a number of different directions here, Booger. What are you anticipating?
Well, they can go one, 2 ways. They can get somebody on the defensive side of the football to line up next to Jeffrey Simmons and help him. Or do you pair somebody with Cam Ward, the number 1 pick last year, and try to help somebody in the offense? They got to help their star players. Are you going to help Cam Ward or are you going to help Jeffrey Simmons? Which way do they go?
All of those great Ohio State defensive players remain on the board if that's the direction that Robert Saleh chooses to go. Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Caleb Dtaft, all of them expected to be drafted early here tonight off that outstanding Buckeyes defense. Will that be the direction Tennessee goes? We'll find out in a moment. Here he is, the Commissioner Roger Goodell, making his way to the podium to announce selection number 4.
With the 4th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Carnell Tate, wide receiver, Ohio State.
Ooh, they're going to be dangerous.
Wow. That one sends a charge through this crowd. And wide receiver U strikes again. Carnell Tate is the 6th Buckeyes wide receiver to get drafted in the first round in the last 5 drafts. He started 25 games opposite Jeremiah Smith the past 2 seasons, caught 103 balls for 13 touchdowns. Now,
he's a ready-to-go guy for the NFL. Precise route runner, great hands, great character, great approach, the way he tracks the deep. Also for Cam Ward, the key guys is getting Cam Ward at an elite level. He showed mid-season and late he could be that guy quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. Carnell Tate qualifies as a safe pick. You know what you're getting? By the way, he'll also block as well. Very unselfish player. Had a great year for Ohio State. Jeremiah Smith certainly helped out. Jeremiah Smith's going to be one of the top 3 players drafted next year. This kid's had some help certainly for Ohio State. Smith being that guy on the other side that everybody had to worry about. But for Carnell Tate, checks the boxes. He's not, I think, the elite receiver that you think about in the top 5, but you know what you're getting, Lou. You know you're getting a solid guy. He doesn't drop the football.
Yeah, look, we talk all the time about how do you help out young quarterbacks. You got to get them weapons. You got to get them weapons. You got to get them weapons. The receiver last year, Elikayo Manor, who I saw at Stanford a couple years ago, he led the team as far as wide receivers are concerned with 515 yards. Only one other team had a wide receiver who led the team with less yardage. With more yardage. That's just above 500. That's the New York Jets. So they need more weapons on the perimeter. This guy is silky smooth now. Silky smooth. And he catches everything. What a great pick for Cam Ward. I promise you he's happy right now.
And when you understand what new offensive coordinator Brian Daboll is going to do, I think he loves Cam Ward. He wanted to pick Cam Ward when he was the head coach of the New York Giants. Now you have Cam Ward as your quarterback when you're the offensive coordinator in Tennessee. And I think now he has a weapon on the outside. And so you get an opportunity to fairly judge your young quarterback. You got to get your young quarterback a playmaker, and Carnell Tate. Now, he's going to be asked to be the number 1. At Ohio State, he wasn't the one. How does he adjust when the coverage is rolled to him? How does he adjust when the game plan is for him? That's something he's going to have to adjust to. But as far as being a solid state guy, he catches the football with his hands. He understands how to run routes. And I don't care about the speed. He knows how to separate. Just look at the balls that he went deep on and beat DB after DB for deep balls in the Big Ten.
So Carnell Tate becomes the first Ohio State player off the board in this draft. I'm not sure how many people saw that coming. With Arvell Reese available and Sonny Styles available and Caleb Downs available, the Carnell Tate becomes the 2nd receiver drafted in the top 4 in the last decade. Marvin Harrison Jr., also from Ohio State, was the other. Just down to Laura, who's standing by with Carnell Tate.
Carnell, what do you want your new quarterback Cam Ward to know about what you'll bring to this Titans offense?
I'm a reliable target for him. Whenever you need me, I'm there for him. I'm always open.
You had a really incredible moment where you wanted to honor your late mom, Ashley, tonight. Can you show us how you had her name inscribed on the inside of your jacket? And as you're showing us, how did she help you achieve your dreams that you wanted to achieve, but that were also her dreams?
Yeah, that's my mom. She's my everything. She's my rock. She's my world. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. She sacrificed everything for me. I'm forever in debt of her.
I know she'd be so proud tonight, Carnell. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, that is what this night is about. It is about the fates and fortunes of every team in the NFL being reshaped, and it is about the wildest dreams of these young men and their families coming true directly before your eyes. Mendoza, Bailey, Love, and Tate are the first four. The New York Giants are on the clock. You're watching the NFL Draft on ESPN.
Dang, I wonder where the Jets gonna go now. They could go Arvell Reese. They could go Sonny Styles.
Can I get a Bud Light? Sorry, the bar's not open yet. Oh, it's not for me. It's for the bride. She said, "Can I get the clean Bud Light?" Her words, not mine.
They could go.
She actually wants three.
What's more of those deviled eggs, too?
Anything for the clean, crisp taste.
Are they gonna go defense or are they gonna get another receiver?
Brandon Foley, Jablonski Auto Body, LLC.
She called her. Oh, you mean Jablonski Auto Body LLC?
He actually sold the twins' baby.
Stadiums, dude. Kids are so expensive these days.
Oasis Breeze, Tan, and Spa.
Can you hear the drums, Fernando?
I'm your man.
To do business with them.
Or we can look at some investment options.
Johnny
What's that?
Fee.
The right money moves aren't as absurd as you think.
Shout out Johnny Fee, man. Look, Johnny
What did
Fee.
you bring back from your last
I
trip?
told you. Shit. My bad. I'm not
A dumpling?
playing on this. Oh, shit.
Feels like a bit of local art. A soulmate for the week.
But
You love a good punch.
But listen here, like it starts now, man. The future starts. You feel me? Mendoza gonna be in Vegas tomorrow because they say he's gonna be at the draft party. So we're gonna see what's going on with that. Man, I'm telling you, sky's the limit for us now, man. Sky's the limit. The QB room looking a lot better than it used to since DC left, I'll tell you that much. You know what I'm saying? The quarterback room is looking a lot better than it's been in the past couple of years. Should I get an amen on that? Can I get a Yurp on that? Somebody give me a Yurp on that, because I think that's facts. You feel me? It's going down, man. It's going down.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh, the National Football League Draft. The New York Giants selection is in at number 5.
We back, y'all.
Commissioner Roger Goodell to make the announcement. We can see he's brought some special guests along to help him do it.
In partnership with the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, TAFT, one of the NFL's Salute to Service partners, we are honored to recognize the surviving family of United States Army Major Paul. Major Wilkie sustained tragic fatal injuries while deployed in Afghanistan. He is survived by his spouse, Tracy, and their two sons, Andrew and Benjamin. Major Wilkie was raised in the Hudson Valley and was a lifelong fan of the New York Giants, a tradition he proudly passed on to his sons. Wilkie family, take it away.
Nah, facts. I agree. David, what's
With the
happening?
5th overall pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Football Giants select Arvell Reese, backer from Ohio State University.
That's gonna be crazy right there.
At number 5 overall, that is the highest pick any John Harbaugh team has made in his head coaching career. And this one is the guy you send off the bus first. He's 6'4", 241 pounds. He ran 4.46 at the combine. A consensus All-American Lewis and the Big Ten linebacker of the year.
I went out to Columbus to watch him, and he was working out with his shirt off, and I'm just sitting there going, that's right out of Central Cast now. That's exactly what you're looking for in just a defensive weapon, an off-ball linebacker by positional, identification. But what he's going to be is he is going to be a weapon for new defensive coordinator Denard Wilson and the New York Giants. You know what this makes me think of? Think of some of the people that they have in New York right now. You think John Harbaugh is thinking back to the Giants of yesteryear when they had Carl Banks, Pepper Johnson, and they had the great LT. Think of some of the guys they have now at linebacker in this new 3-4 booger. They got Brian Burns, Tremaine Edmonds inside, Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, and now Arvell Reese. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine the kind of things they're going to be able to do with these kind of body types? It's going to be fascinating. They are trying to play lights out defense. And this guy, Mel, just like we talked about with Jai Love on the offensive side of the ball, he is a weapon because you can use him in so many different ways, which we're going to see here. You can just have him do so many different things. And pass rush is the thing that he's most green at so far because he hasn't really worked at it. If he can't get that hat on, that's all right, man. It still looks good.
You mentioned earlier, Mel, that he is just 20 years old, won't turn 21 until the week before his rookie season begins. So much room still to grow for this extraordinary player. Lewis, show us some of the tape.
Well, look, you're talking about a Greeny already at 6'4", 241 pounds. He runs 4.46. That's the number one thing that jumps off at you, on tape. Is the guy's just absolute crazy speed and his range to be able to run people down all over the football field. And you'll just see it here. He's just going to track Atron Allen out here on this screen, and he's just going to stuff it for no gain whatsoever. Positional versatility. He doesn't have to just line up off the ball in the stack position. You can put him on the line of scrimmage. He'll whip tackles. He'll whip tight ends. He can do both. And here with his power rush, you think it's just all about speed. He can take this offensive tackle and puts two hands in his chest and just drives him back into the quarterback and collapses the pocket. And then if you do want to see the speed and the bend coming off the edge, he's got it natural. This is something he's going to have to develop. But man, with all the different body types having the New York Giants right now in the linebacker room, they have got an embarrassment of riches. Denard Wilson, defensive coordinator, you're on the clock now. You've got some guys to work with.
All right, Marriott Vanboy is going to take us back down to the stage. Now Laura is standing by with Arvell Reese. Laura.
Sure. Arvell, what have the Giants shared with you about how they plan to utilize you in their defense?
The Giants told me they're going to get unique with me. They said they're going to use me in a bunch of unique ways, so I'm looking forward to that.
It hasn't been easy for you, this journey. What can you say about those that have helped you all the way back to your days at Glenville High School in Ohio?
Yeah, I can't say nothing. It's a bunch of childhood coaches I done had. My high school coaches, my parents, my family, my brothers. All I can say is thank you.
And you got the hat to fit finally.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Laura, thank you. So a pair of pass rushers are now New York bound. David Bailey to the Jets and Arvell Reese to the Giants. Meanwhile, here at number 6, we have a trade. The Chiefs have moved up into this spot. Adam Schefter is standing by. Schefter, what can you tell us?
All right, Greeny, the Browns have been shopping this pick for weeks, and finally they found a taker in the Kansas City Chiefs, who are giving up the 9th overall pick, 3rd round pick, and a 5th round pick, 3 picks to go up to number 6. The Chiefs need defensive help. They need help along the pass rush. They need help in the secondary. We'll see how it works out here, but Kansas City has made the first trade of the first round, moving up to 6, Greeny.
We would anticipate there will be more. Super quickly, Mel, before the commissioner comes out. You can go offense or defense.
Well, you're looking at Washington and New Orleans. What are we looking at there? Jordan Tyson, wide receiver, Arizona State.
Carnell Tate already off the board, so we'll see if Tyson is the player. We'll find out momentarily. Again, the Kansas City Chiefs not accustomed to choosing this high in the draft. Here comes the commissioner to make the announcement of the Chiefs at number 6.
With the 6th pick in 2026 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Mansour Delane, defensive back, LSU.
I will remind you that Kansas City traded first team
spoke too soon, Frank.
Duffy to the Rams this offseason, and his teammate Jalen Watson later signed with LA as well. So they had a need at this position. Mansour Delane, a unanimous All-American in his league season at LSU, transferred after 3 years at Virginia Tech.
No doubt. When he got to LSU, the first thing you have to ask yourself is, can he play man coverage? Can you line up and play man-to-man? You can check that box. Number 2, can he play zone coverage? Can he play off? Can he read the quarterback? I think we quickly learned he can do that. Does he panic when the ball is in the air? He doesn't do that. So when you look at Mansour Delane, you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting a guy that's very patient, that can play man coverage. He's very patient and can play off zone coverage. And when the ball is in the air, he understands how to go attack the ball, and he doesn't get graphic. That's something that a lot of college corners do. They get very graphic. He doesn't do that, and he catches the football, which means he can turn the football over for your team. You talk to defensive back coach Corey Raymond, and he's had some great ones down there. Morris Claiborne, Patrick Peterson. He's right in that same elk, Mel, with all those guys.
Came out of Archbishop Spalding High School, right? Watch him play high school football. See him get to this point. Nobody talked about it. Virginia Tech, inconsistent. Made some big plays, but intercepted, gave up some. At LSU this year, started off the Clemson game, he had an interception and a couple pass breakup. He took this game to a new level. Where he might go to be a 4-5 guy, an under 4-4 at the workout. I had him right now as the 14th best player in this draft. I think it's a bit of a reach, but guess what? With Jermod McCoy and that lingering knee injury, he became the guy at corner that you got to get, because there's really, right now, no locked corner because of McCoy's injury. Maybe Colton Hood gets in there, maybe Chris Johnson, San Diego State, but that made Mansour Delane much more valuable at the top of the draft because of McCoy falling back just a bit.
Yeah, they're betting on that ascension that you're talking about, Mel, that he's on currently as far as how he has improved to continue. They've done a nice job down there with defensive backs. They lost 2 of them this offseason. I mean, it was a necessity in order for Brett Veach to go ahead and fill this position and get someone like this guy who, look, he just absolutely balled out all year long. He supports the run. He makes plays on the football. He's so aggressive at the catch point. He can do it all. He has really developed his game.
They make the aggressive move. They go up and get their man, and Marion Bonvoy takes this back to Laura, who's with Mansour Delane.
You trade that third, but
Mansour, you just said, wow, this is crazy. The Chiefs traded up to get you. What did they tell you about why you were so important to them?
Sure, really just the way I play the game. This confidence they have in me, they weren't really on me too much in this process, but they said they just wanted to keep it quiet and make that sneak move, and they made the best move in the draft, so I'm excited.
You were once a little boy dreaming of this very night where you would become an NFL player. What would that little boy say now?
Man, don't stop now. Don't stop now. You got what you dreamed of, but, man, let's make a mark on this league.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right, Laura, thank you very much. And so the next selection is in. We mentioned the cadence will be quicker this season because there's only 8 minutes rather than 10 between these picks. And Mel, the Washington Commanders have already made their pick. Who's the best player remaining on the board in your mind?
Fred Warner comparison. Who had Fred Warner? Adam Peters did. Who's the general manager of the Washington Commanders? It's Adam Peters. Who was the cop? Fred Warner. You got Sonny Styles for the Washington Commanders. In a division with those quarterbacks, you got to chase. Sonny Styles can do it. He can spy. He can get to the quarterback like a cat.
It's a name that perhaps we had expected to go a little sooner than this. He had one of the truly great showings in the history of the Combine about 6 weeks ago. So that certainly feels like a possibility here. Many have projected that Jeremiah Love might fall all this way. I've seen him projected to the Commanders multiple times. Here comes the commissioner with a pair of Hall of Famers on either side to announce the 7th pick in this year's draft.
The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, is awarded to one player each year and celebrates their profound impact on and off the field. I'm joined on stage by former winners Lynn Swan and Jerome Bettis. And the league welcomed its newest member to the prestigious club 2 months ago, Super Bowl champion and 6-time All-Pro Bobby Wagner. Way to go, Bobby. On behalf of the Payton family and Nationwide, I encourage players drafted this week to make their community and the league a better place. You want to go for it, or you want me? With the 7th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Sonny Styles, linebacker, Ohio State.
Now, this is the first time that Ohio State has had 3 players selected in the first 7 overall. Sonny Styles, Lewis, you talked about him earlier. Safety, his first 2 seasons in Columbus, switched to linebacker, just got better and better at 174 tackles in 2 years, 7 sacks, and an interception. First team All-American last season.
He's another guy whose career is just on a rocket ride right now, really, as far as his development. Very similar to Arbel Reese, and you're going to see it here, the things that he can do. His football instinct and his football IQ when it comes to playing linebacker, having been a former safety, are just continuing to improve, getting 3 snots held so that he can play downhill, key and diagnose, make TFLs like that. That's exactly what you want. A guy who's a former safety, how is he going to be able to play at the line of scrimmage as far as setting blocks and still being able to be productive at the point of attack? You see it there. He's getting better at that. His lateral ability, you have a guy who's this big and covers ground, that's going to be no problem for him. He's going to chase ball carriers down all over the field. And then his recognition and his reaction, his ability to transition in man or zone coverage. Again, the safety background comes into play. That's something he's going to excel at on 3rd down once he gets to the league. Who's another guy who made this transition? The great Hall of Famer Brian Urlacher, who played that robber position in those 3 safety looks at New Mexico, transitioned into being one of the great linebackers with his height, his weight, his speed, and then eventually his physicality. That's what Sonny Styles is going to be. And here's the topper. This kid has no chinks in his armor when you're talking about football character. He is the creme de la creme when it comes to football character. He will be the face of that franchise along with James Dan.
When you have a guy that's this long, a lot of the coaches talk to me about him in pass coverage. We see the athleticism, but his wingspan is so big. Now, when he drops back in zone coverage, he's going to be hard to throw. You got to fit the ball over a guy that's 6'4" with over an 80-inch wingspan. Nowadays, with so much zone coverage and so much two-high safety, now you have another guy in the middle of the field that can take up a ton of space, Mel.
Here was Sonny Styles. He cut down dramatically on the missed tackle. He transitioned safety to linebacker off ball. 2024, a lot of missed tackles. 2025, very few. He actually had 13 more tackles for Arbel Reese. As far as the sack number, he got after the quarterback his first year at all fall. Had 6 sacks in 2024. He had 2 in the playoffs, 1 against Texas and 1 at Notre Dame. Now, he only had 1 sack this past season. He showed 2 years ago he could give you that pass rush. He is a tremendously talented player with so many versatile, mobile, athletic quarterbacks. This kid can track you down. Big time. Think it's the 4th best player in my opinion, the 7th pick for Washington.
Of course, his dad, Lorenzo Styles, was also a great player at Ohio State. Marriott Bonvoy takes us down to Laura and Sonny Styles.
Sonny, we saw your smile when you looked at that Commanders jersey and you put on the hat. What should Commanders fans know about what they're getting in you?
Oh man, I love the game. I love the guys. I love the brotherhood. I'm excited to be a part of the organization. Coach Quinn, Mr. Peters, the whole staff. I love everyone there. I remember I was there a few weeks ago. I told Coach Quinn, I was like, hope they'll be back soon. He said, we'll see. So I'm super happy.
You have now been drafted. Your brother Lorenzo Jr. will be drafted this weekend. What do you remember about being little boys and imagining this night?
Man, He's my best friend, my inspiration. Just chasing him around. We dreamed about this. So to see it all happen, we're living out the dream. But it's just the beginning. Just the beginning.
Enjoy this.
Yes, man. Thank you.
All right, Laura, thank you. This draft is being held in Pittsburgh. You might just as well have moved it down the road to Columbus. We've had 3 Buckeyes in these first 7 picks. Carnell Tate is a Tennessee Titan. Arvell Reese is a New York Giant. Sonny Styles is a Washington Commander. The Saints, and then the Browns, and then the Giants again will select next. You're watching the 91st NFL Draft from Pittsburgh on ESPN.
Hey, how we season? I see it. Hey,
Hey, Fernando.
Hi, how you doing?
Really good. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
We're here with Fernando Mendoza. Just got the call. Tell me what it feels like to be officially drafted.
It is such a blessing. And, oh, sorry, 1 second. I need to post on LinkedIn. Boom, posted. Now it's official. Anyway, to answer your question, it feels...
Here's your table right here.
Last fool already got commercials.
All me.
It ain't got me Milton turned up. He already got commercials. That's crazy. That's crazy. Son. He already got commercials. That's crazy. So I'm gonna say this. I would like to see. I mean, if Caleb Downs drops all the way down to the draft, close enough to where we could jump back in the first to go get him, I'll do that in a heartbeat. I ain't lying. I'll so do that in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna see what happens. I would definitely do that. I would definitely do that. David G in the building. He said how he sees it. Yes, it is. And now for a word from our sponsor. Yes. I am sponsored by Howdy Do Records. Howdy Do Records, y'all. Oh man, I'm just joking. Oh shucks, I'm tripping, man.
Love the kid. I think he's wide receiver 1, most talented wideout in this draft, and the 2 versatile offensive linemen. Now we know a right tackle guard, Bono, right tackle guard center, and Mekhi Lemon, boy, he plays fierce. Love the kid. He also has return skills.
All right, the New Orleans Saints selection is in, and the commissioner, I am told, is making his way to the stage right now to announce it with the 8th selection in this draft. The Browns will come behind them, having traded back with Kansas City a bit earlier than the Giants will make their 2nd pick of the night. But here comes New Orleans, and the commissioner, Roger Goodell, ready with the announcement.
Let's go. All right, come on, man. With the BS. Play this. Come on, Commish. The freaking pick is in, man. How you gonna hold this into it?
With the 8th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Jordan Tyson, wide receiver, Arizona State.
Well, there you go. The talent is unquestionable. Injuries are the only question.
Crazy,
we know about the torn ligaments in 22, the hamstring that lingered into the combine. But he was spectacular when he was on the field. All Big 12 each of the last 2 years at Arizona State, 136 catches, 18 touchdowns now, and he rushed for another.
He is a talented football player. He was my career like #1 wide receiver in this draft. Think about where he can be if he stays healthy. Got some durability issues during his career, but if he stays healthy, he can be a dynamic performer. I thought Kansas City would look at him. They passed it around. Tyler Shuck, Tyler Shuck's the guy. Hey, about Jordan Tyson becoming the. Guess what? You think about Chris Olave, right? You learn a lot from Olave. Tyson can make any catch he has to make. He can go high, he can go low. He's tremendous after the catch guy. Love this football player. Hey, he had a hamstring. He tried to play through a hamstring and injured the other hamstring. Why? Because he's so competitive. What did Kenny Dillingham say? I had to try to protect Tyson from Tyson because he wouldn't get off the field. He didn't have a chance to rest. He never ran a 40 because he didn't train for it. So he worked out last week, had a great workout, and now Jordan Tyson goes to the Saints and helps that young kid as they did with Cam Ward.
Yo, I don't care, yo. He plays like George Pickens.
That's what Jordan Tyson can be if he stays healthy.
Here's the thing I say about the injury rate. Everybody's concerned. When you play the National Football League, the injury rate is 100%. It's not if you're going to get hurt, it's when. Everybody's going to get hurt. You just hope it's not a catastrophic injury. I'm not concerned. He's the most talented wide receiver in the draft. He gives you vibes, Queenie, of Odell Beckham Jr. He can catch the football when he's explosive, and he can make a big play.
And I implore Coach Jordan Tyson, let's get ready for the National Football League.
Guys, I wonder if you can see the emotion in the face there of Jordan Tyson, who was overcome on his way to the stage for a moment. And what a reminder of what this night is about. Of course, it's about what the Saints are going to have in him as a football player, but it's also about the culmination of a lifetime of work, and you see it all coming out in Jordan Tyson as he made that walk.
But full stop, this is the best wide receiver in the draft. Look, I love Carnell Tate. We all love Carnell Tate. We all love Mekhi Lemon. This guy right here is a problem. He is big. He is super explosive. He is tough. He can run every route. He can play all three positions. He can play the Z, the X, the slot. I'm just telling you now. Him, Chris Olave, Travis Etienne, Tyler Shuck is sitting there going, oh yeah, buddy. We're on here comes the Saints now. This is a nice draft pick. Helen Moore's got to be ecstatic that this kid is sitting there for them to pick.
And here's the thing about Greeny. You see that emotion? Because all through the draft process, all we kept saying, he's injury prone. Everybody tried to knock this young man down because of the injury. So that emotion coming out is somebody believed in him when everybody during the process said they weren't. And I love that for him.
Let's hear from a Marriott Bonvoy. Takes us down to Laura, who's standing by with Jordan Tyson.
Jordan, you're out here singing. We saw you overcome with emotion as you were making the walk. What were you thinking in those moments?
I'm just so thankful, so blessed. The Lord's doing work on me. He's not done. We're just going to keep this thing rolling. I'm going to give it my all, and that's all I can do.
What player who may deal with adversity, injuries in this game, some of the things that you've handled about perseverance?
The Lord said it's going to be hard, and you have to persevere. Life is not easy. Keep going, boy. You got it. You strong. I promise you, you're so strong. Just keep going. You got it.
Congratulations.
What a moment. Booker, as you were pointing out, the number of times over the last year or so, he must have wondered if this moment would ever come.
Well, no doubt, Greeny. And everyone throughout the process, we knew about the talent, but we just kept talking about the negativity, the injuries. Is he going to be healthy? He missed 1 out of every 3 games. That young man heard that. And now the emotion you see coming out is well-deserved by him.
The glory that you hear behind us is because the Cleveland Browns pick is in, and that, of course, is the arch rival of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Melo, we have 30 seconds. What are we looking at?
We have the left tackle sitting there for the Cleveland Browns. They trade now. You got Caden Proctor, Alabama. You got Monroe Grilling, Georgia. You got the right tackle, PC Malinois, right tackle guard, Miami. But the left tackle spot, so critical. Always heard about Cleveland is Caden Proctor and Monroe Grilling. Now they got a shot to make the pick. Take one of those two guys. You trade down, get 2 extra picks by doing it. Great move by the Cleveland Browns to GM Andrew Berry.
Cleveland maneuvering their way back in the draft, and they have not seen any offensive linemen go off the board to this point. So if that is the direction they go, they will have their choice of whomever it is they want. We will find it out right now. And a pick that they got by trading back with Kansas City. The Browns are here at 9, and the commissioner will make the announcement.
With the 9th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Spencer Bono, tackle, Utah.
And there he is, the first offensive lineman off the board in this class. And look at the celebration at home in Utah. Highly decorated during his outstanding college career. A unanimous All-American last year. The Big 12 Offensive Lineman of the Year. And Melly won the Outland Trophy as the best lineman in the country.
Played 11 games at left tackle in 2023. Played in 1 game at right tackle. Then he became the right tackle. With Caleb Lobo last 2 years was the left tackle. So for a guy like Spencer Bono, this offense got it done. They ran the ball down people's throats. They were a balanced offense. Bono had a lot to do with that. He gets after it in the trenches, guys.
You know that I think he's the most versatile offensive lineman in the draft. Even at the combine, Greeny, they worked him out at center. So he plays left tackle, he played right tackle, he worked out at center. So you're getting a versatile piece that you can put anywhere on your offensive line. I think Cleveland is going to put him at the left tackle spot, which he played early on in his freshman season.
Look, quarterbacks in Cleveland had a tough time last year with how inept this team was as far as pass protection. He's one of those guys who has positional versatility, can go from right or left. They just need to figure out the best combination of 5 and make sure they can keep whoever winds up being their quarterback off the ground.
All right, the commissioner is making his way back again. The New York Giants earlier this evening on the 5th pick in the draft took Arvell Reese, and now they have the 2nd selection of the evening here at number 10. The commissioner is ready with the announcement.
With the 10th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Francis Mauigoa, tackle, Miami.
So back-to-back offense. Francis Mauigoa, they call him CC. He was a top 10 recruit in the nation coming out of IMG, so he's been on the radar a long time. A consensus All-American. And Mel, he too is only 20 years old, will not turn 21 until June.
Guess what, guys? He started 42 games at right tackle during his career. Entertaining here to watch. He was beat up as a run blocker. He excelled driving defenders off the ball. Powerful hands, very good core strength and leg drive. He sustained his block, pass protection, the hand placement was very good. Plays with balance, good mirror ability, has the base anchor versus power, good punch move. He came a long way as a pass protector. As a right tackle, people are kind of writing him off. He's got to go to crazy. I don't think so. I think he can be a right tackle in the NFL. And if he struggles down the line, then you kick him inside the guard. But Francis Mauigoa came a long way this year. He came with the back injury, the herniated disc. Maybe worried a couple teams early, but he was projected to go in this general area. So the back injury really didn't push him down the board at all, Lou.
Yeah, look, he's one of those guys who, look, every time I went down to Coral Gables and talked to Mario Cristobal, he said, this guy reminds me of Penei Sewell. He has that kind of ability, both in terms of how he can play on the football field and the run in the pass game, and how he elevates all the players around him. And when Miami had to have it, that's who they were running behind, big number 61. So John Harbaugh knows. He knows Jackson Dart has to stay healthy. Quarterback stats aren't just an offensive line stat, they're also a quarterback stat. But they need to be firmer up front. They need to settle on a group of 5. He needs to be one of the people who think this is a foundational building block about, look, you want to build it front to back, inside out, you know? Here it is. This is how you do it.
And if you look at what the Giants have done, talk about building front to back.
So not only did the Giants
CC Mauigoa.
Guys that can affect the ball
in the front 7 on defense, and from an offensive line stand, this is a powerful player. You're talking about moving men against their will, the most powerful offensive tackle in the draft. He can kick inside the guard, but I think he's the right tackle all every day. And now you have a guy that when you need that tough yard, when you need to line up and be physical, you can run behind CC Mauigoa.
Certainly sounds like a John Harbaugh kind of team, doesn't it? Making those decisions on the offensive line. It's a new era for the New York Giants, and they are building it on the line of scrimmage. Perhaps no big surprise there. I'm told, by the way, the Dallas Cowboys have traded up into the next spot. So they'll be making the next selection. But before we do that, we do this. Marriott Bonvoy, Laura, standing by with Francis Mauigoa.
CT, what do you want to tell Jackson Dart about how you'll help protect him on this Giants O-line?
I'll die about this shit, man. And I'm ready to die for you, man. I know a lot of things has happened, bro, but I'm ready to die for you, bro.
You have an ode to American Samoa on your jacket and your family. And even growing up there, you had to create your own football gear. There's a lot of kids that you're a role model for. They're watching tonight. What's your message to them?
Hey, man. Born and raised in American Samoa, man. Never thought I could be here, man. If I could do it, you can do it. Simple as that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
CC Maui Noah is a New York Giant, and there is the jacket that Laura referenced, a tribute to American Samoa. So the New York Giants again building it from the line of scrimmage. That's Arbel Reese and Francis Maui Noah. They're both headed to the Giants, and the Dallas Cowboys have moved up. They will select next as the NFL draft continues from Pittsburgh in just a moment.
It's crazy work,
From the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power, the Ego 22-inch aluminum deck mower with Select Cut is the most powerful mower in its class, featuring an aluminum deck that allows for extreme blade speeds, producing the perfect razor-sharp cut. Designed for durability that's guaranteed for life. All powered by Ego's patented 56-volt arc lithium battery. One battery powers all tools. Find an Ego retailer near you.
I'll get caught up. But yeah. The Giants are looking pretty interesting this season. They're looking really good so far. Look, I want to check out their. Does anybody know? Can anybody look up the Giants off-season acquisitions? I would, but on my phone, I'm watching the draft on my phone right now. So, if anybody got access, could they please give me the answer to that question? Yeah, I think. Do you think the Cowboys get? Do you think they'll get? You think the Cowboys will go get Caleb Downs, or you think they go get who is it? You think they go safety or corner? I think they go corner. But you never know. Well, damn. That's one thing I hate about special events. All these freaking commercials, man. But if anybody looking, if they can't watch the draft, it's on Hulu. It's being streamed on Hulu, so you know what I'm saying. 2 5th-round picks. Dallas traded 2 5th-round picks and
absolutely not afford to pass up on, and we'll find out who that player is. Here comes the commissioner to announce the Cowboys selection at number 11.
With the 11th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Caleb Downs, defensive back, Ohio State.
What I tell you, man.
Another
Yurp
Ohio State star.
Your boy
He actually was
Yurp
the SEC
man.
Freshman of the Year at Alabama in 2023. Transferred when Nick Saban retired. Off to Ohio State, where he was a unanimous All-American in both of his seasons. Won the Lott Trophy, the Jim Thorpe Award now, and a national champ.
What do the Cowboys need on defense? They culture change, right? They need an alpha coming in there. This team allowed 30 or more points in 9 football games. Jerry Jones is watching his offense stack and friends go up and down the field. Then the opposition is going to go right back and answer every touchdown and keep scoring. They're still scoring against that Cowboy defense. They couldn't stop anybody. This kid is going to tolerate nothing but winning, nothing but working. He's the smartest football player Nick Saban ever coached because Nick said it, right? You know about that freshman year. First Alabama freshman to lead the team in tackles.
How tall is he, yo?
He had 16.3 average per punt return with a touchdown in 2024. He played for 3 different defensive coordinators. This kid may not be Cal Hamilton, and he's supposed to be at 6'4", 220, but pound for pound, one of the best football players you will ever find. They say he is an alpha. I thought even a 2 for the Jets would make sense because he will change the culture, and nobody on defense needs more than that for the Dallas Cowboys.
You know, coaches always talk about, I can coach you up, but you got to go on the field and play. When you send him on the field, you have a coach on the field. He's got high-level instincts. And what does that mean? That means you don't have to tell him where the play is coming. He can feel it out. He's seen enough football. He can get guys lined up. When you look at a Cowboy defense that needs to get better in a lot of areas, you're going to have your coach in the back end and Caleb Downs, an instinctual playmaker. I'm not concerned about his size. There's some concern about his size and the tackling. I didn't see him miss many tackles, Luke. I think he'll be able to get ball carriers down.
What he's going to bring is just a calming influence, a calming, communicative, playmaking influence in the secondary that they lacked last year. Last year, not only did they get beat physically, they had miscommunications, coverage busts, all that stuff. And look, Mel, you talked about it. Where he comes from, having played at Alabama for Nick and having played now at Ohio State, where he was at, without a doubt, him and Sonny and Arbel ran that show there. He's going to run the show in Dallas. He's going to go in there from day one. And new defensive coordinator Christian Parker is going to say, hey, look, we moved up in the first for a reason, to bring you in here as you're one of the people who's one of the forward-facing people on the team, and we need you to make plays and get people on the same page and not miss tackles just like you did at Ohio State. He was an absolute sniper at Ohio State as a tackle. You rarely saw somebody get loose from him once he put his hands on him, and that's what he's going to need to do too. Turn that football over.
According to ESPN's draft predictor, there was only a 12% chance that Caleb Downs would be available at number 11. So the Cowboys may have gotten themselves a steal here. And Caleb Downs is standing by now with Laura Marriott Bonvoy. Takes us down to the stage. Laura.
Caleb, you're celebrating this. You're taking it all in. Just moments ago, you were on the Free Jones. What did he tell you about the Cowboys' plans to use you?
First of all, I just want to say thank God. Without that, none of us would be here. Just thanks for my Savior, Jesus Christ. But it was a great conversation. I honestly couldn't hear much. I was too excited to listen. So I'm just excited to do what I can do and be committed to the team.
We'll ask Jerry later what he said. Now, your brother Josh is a wide receiver for the Colts. Your dad, Gary, a running back in the NFL. How special is it for your family that you now get to carry on this legacy?
That's an awesome feeling. Honestly, God's blessing us with a lot of favor to be in this situation. And I'm so thankful to be here. And my family, I can't even say enough words about them. There's a lot of love there.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
So Caleb Downs is a Dallas Cowboy. The Miami Dolphins up next. Now it's reasonable to say they need almost everything. They have 30 seconds.
They do.
Where do you go from here?
Well, you got Monroe Freeling and you got Caden Proctor, the 2 offensive linemen I was talking about from Cleveland Browns still on the board. They could go any direction, but it all begins up front. And you got to give your quarterback, Malik Willis, a fighting chance. So the offensive linemen are there. Proctor and Freeling both available for the Dolphins.
So a new era in Miami, new coaching staff, new leadership, new quarterback, new opportunities, and let's see which player they've chosen as their first pick tonight. Here comes Roger Goodell, pick number 12 tonight for the Dolphins.
With the 12th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Caden Proctor, tackle, Alabama.
Well, there he is. And I don't need to tell you, the first thing you notice is the size. He is 6'7", 352 pounds. 3-year starter at left tackle, a freshman, All-American in 2023, All-SEC for the last 2 years, consensus All-American in 2025.
So you look at Caden Proctor, the talent is in abundance. He should be a Pro Bowl player. He should have been a dominant player week in and week out when he was playing in Alabama. First game against Florida State, he struggled. He had some concentration lapses, focus lapses. He allowed a sack, 2 quarterback hits, 3 hurries, and a penalty in that game. Second half of that game against the Seminoles, he had all kinds of problems in that game. He got better as the season went along. I think he qualified. Someone is an underachiever. For all that talent, you got to dominate the college. Caden Proctor can be as good as Caden Proctor wants to be. If he wants to be a great player in the NFL, he has that talent to be that guy. But at Alabama, there was too many missed opportunities and tasks the back where he let inferior players beat him. Focus issues in terms of penalty flu. He's got to figure all that out and become more consistent to realize all of that talent and ability that he possesses.
And some of that has to do with his weight. He's got to make sure that he keeps his weight down. Because when he's in shape, he can play the left tackle spot and he can play at a high level. Alabama's played him out at wide receiver. They put him at running back. They threw him to football. He's a guy that can be as good as he wants to be, but it's all going to be about his motivation. Is he going to be motivated week in and week out to keep his weight down? We can play left tackle against some of the elite rushers in the National Football League.
That's your best. You're building the football character, developing to the point where he's a self-starter, right? You don't have to babysit him all the time and say, hey, look, hey, Caden, it's in your interest to make sure that your weight's down. You dominate people. This guy moved people against their will. And that's how when if you're Jeff Hafley, the new head coach down there, that's what he wants from Malik Willis. He wants an offensive line that he can just turn around and hand the football off and rely on this offensive line. And Caden Proctor, he can play all positions, man. And you're right, it is all up to him. Yeah. You're making a bet on the fact that the maturity will kick in and the importance of the game will be such that he will keep his weight at a manageable level to where he can dominate. Because the only reason why he doesn't dominate in the NFL is because of himself. Yeah. Because if he's on, it's over. This dude is a problem.
You see the emotion in his face as he made his way down there to meet with Roger Goodell. The Dolphins, again, starting almost from scratch. It's a good place to start for the offensive tackle who figures to have a chance to be a dominant player in front of their new quarterback, Mariota, and Caden Proctor.
Caden, you just told me I've never cried like that. The emotion that you experienced with your family, what is this moment like for you and letting some of that emotion out?
It's just so surreal, honestly, like having my people around me, they experiencing this shit for the first time. I just don't even know what to say. I'm at a loss for words. I just appreciate the Dolphins for giving me an opportunity to go down there and play. Man, I'm finna go play my ass, I promise you that.
You have said that the O-linemen are the best athletes on the field. Are you going to be campaigning to be catching some passes, maybe running the ball a little bit out there?
Oh, for sure. Coach is giving me a chance. I promise you I'm going to put that ball into that end zone. Promise you that.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Caden Proctor off the board. The LA Rams are on the clock. Ty Simpson is in the green room waiting to hear his name called. Will we have a second quarterback selected tonight? We'll find out as we continue round 1 of the NFL Draft on ESPN.
It's either him or it's either Rams.
Respects your cortisol.
Yeah, but it's good for your liver.
Pro tip, magnetic hydration.
Cardio ruins muscle gain.
Hey, standing ruins your knees.
Sleep is overrated.
Hitting it hard on your head.
You installed this?
Even had a few screws left over.
13.
If it's important, it's not worth
I'll
not.
keep doing that. Sorry, y'all. But pick is in for the Rams. Let's see what happens. that's crazy. Well, we're finna see what happens. It's about to go down. I can't wait. I can't wait to start throwing with the receivers and all that stuff. It's gonna be great. Man, those are gonna cook. Watch. He probably like, hey, fax over the playbook. So then he probably is. Send over the playbook right now. Fax it over. Email it to me. Whatever. Give me the basics right now. It's back on.
Rams have mowed this big long hard, and they are expected to go back to the offensive side for football, Greeny.
All right, Shefty, thank you. Team, of course, that was on the doorstep of the Super Bowl a year ago. We'll see what direction they choose to go here. The Ravens will come behind them, followed by Tampa Bay, and then the New York Jets will make their second selection of the night. But it's the Rams who are on the clock here at 13, and here comes the commissioner with the announcement.
They're gonna get Ty Simpson.
Eighth pick in the 2026 NFL
2 for
Draft.
2, y'all.
The Los Angeles Rams select Ty Simpson, quarterback, Alabama.
That was a gimme.
Oh my goodness. We have the first stunner of the 2026 first round. Ty Simpson goes 13 to the Rams. If you've not been following this process, the speculation, or at least the question, had been round one at all. He goes 13 to LA. Let's talk about Ty Simpson. You see the big hug there. He spent 4 years at Alabama, but started only one of them. So just 15 starts in his collegiate career. Numbers were great. 28 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions. He's 23 years old. He'll be 24 in December. And of course, he is the son of a coach, Jason Simpson, who has been the head man at UT Montreal since 2006.
We thought when the Rams traded 29 to the Chiefs, we thought that trade at 29 was going to take Ty Simpson to put him in a spot where maybe Arizona will have to trade him because the Rams aren't going to take him at 13. Well, the Rams took him at 13. Why would you do that when you're built for now? Because they want the heir apparent, obviously, and Ty Simpson. This kid up till mid-November, Lou, was at 21 touchdowns and 1 pick. Then he said he got hurt. He was beat up. Then he had 5 straight games with a fumble loss. Then he had a fumble loss in the playoffs as well, right? So he wasn't 100%, he said. He should get a little bigger, a little stronger. To me, Ty Simpson, they're hoping, is the heir apparent to Matthew Stafford.
Look, there's a reason why, and I tried to say this, and there were people who were all over me on social. Look, there's a reason why this young man decided to come out. Him and his inner circle decided to come out, and that was because they felt as though this was going to happen. And I bet they felt as though this was going to happen with this team. He is perfect for this team. He is perfect for this offense. He ran very similar concepts at Alabama. He gets to sit behind Matthew Stafford. People say, well, why would you take a quarterback like this if you're built to win now? Well, the best time is when you don't need one. Not when you're up against the wall and you're forced and fixed. He fits perfectly. His tape, you cannot deny. You can go ahead and bang on him for the fact that, you know what? His resume is not that long, but his play this year, he showed some high-level quarterback play. Sean McVay must have saw the same thing, and now he gets to learn from one of the very best to do it. And that's he
And then next year, Matthew Stafford is coming. Does not help them win this season.
Help Ty Simpson though. 15 starts is a risky number. He's got to sit and watch and learn. He can't be forced in there. The Rams are a team ready to win a Super Bowl. Watch Matthew Stafford, learn from Matthew Stafford. 15 starts is risky. Now he has the chance to set
Aaron Bonvoy, Laura, and Ty Simpson.
Ty, your dad was your coach. He's been a coach for as long as you can remember. As you think about tonight, now that you're a first-round NFL quarterback, how did he help you get here?
I mean, first off, I want to give all the glory to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. The fact that I'm here on that NFL stage of the draft, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. But my dad, he helped me along the way and everything possible, from sitting in meetings to quarterback drills. Shout out UT Martin and everything they've done for me as well.
Now you're going to play in an offense with the Rams. It's similar to the offense that you ran at Alabama. What are you most excited about in learning from Sean McVay and quarterback Matthew Stafford?
Yeah, I mean, two of the greatest minds in, offense, especially with, Coach McVay and the quarterback offensive standpoint. And then, Matthew is one of the greatest of all time. So I'm looking forward to it.
Congratulations, Ty.
Thank you.
Ty Simpson, the third quarterback the Rams have taken in the first round. The others for Sam Bradford and Jared Goff. Adam Schefter, tell us about the Rams' decision here.
Well, Greeny, the Rams talked about it, and they felt this was a rare opportunity at 13 quarterback. They were so convinced of their decision that earlier today, they called their veteran quarterback, Matthew Stafford, and told him that they planned to take Ty Simpson tonight at 13. This was a pick that the Rams got from the Falcons, and think about this. When the Atlanta Falcons chose Michael Penix, they did not give Kirk Cousins a heads up. The Rams did that today with Matthew Stafford, and now it's sent it over to the commissioner for the very next pick in the draft, Greeny.
All right, Shefty, that pick belongs to the Ravens, another team in transition. So many years, John Harbaugh, the coach there. Harbaugh has already made 2 selections tonight with the Giants, and now the Ravens will make their first of the night at number 14. And here indeed is Roger Goodell with the announcement for Baltimore.
With the 14th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Olaivebenga Yowane, guard, Penn State.
Olaivebenga Yowane, he goes by Vega. I have seen him described as being built like a fortress. I can't imagine a better description for a guard. He was a 2-year full-time starter, all Big Ten both years, an All-American in his final season, played both right and left guard, but primarily on the left side.
It was a disaster for the Ravens last year. It impacted the center, Linderbaum, and actually the right tackle, Rosengard. He stepped back a little bit, regressed a little bit in year 2. Benga Yowane is the best pure guard in this draft. He's plug and play. He's not going to be a right tackle. He's a guard. He solidifies an area, like I said. They were woefully lacking consistent performance at all. It impacted Lamar, 4 1/4, 320 pounds, nice arm length, still out sack, only 2 pressures this past year as a pass blocker. There's a season mirror, good hand placement, strong punch, and he anchors really well. He neutralized the charge of power on a consistent basis. He brings an attitude as well. He plays fierce. He started a ton of games. You talk about a guy who's a veteran of the collegiate wars and plays at super high level. He is a talk about a need. It screamed offensive guard for the Baltimore Ravens.
So the Ravens making one of the safest picks in the draft. The Rams making one of the most surprising. Ty Simpson goes off the board at lucky number 13. The Buccaneers and the Jets are on the way. It's the draft on ESPN.
They're definitely gonna get a center later on, though. If they ain't get one.
The 2026 NFL Draft is brought to you by Accenture, the official business and technology consulting partner of the NFL.
At Burger King, celebrities don't rule the menu.
I don't know what that is. Man. I know, Frank. I know. It's crazy, right? Well, all I want to know is where are we going to be headed second round. Definitely need to talk about that. We definitely need to talk about that. I'm going to watch that. I'm going to go see that Michael Jackson joint. I think I might take my wife to go see that.
Look at this pork chops with Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning. Yes, please.
Young Sanders 23, what it do, bro? Appreciate you pulling up, man. Appreciate you pulling up. Welcome to the channel. Hope you hit that like button. Hope you subscribe. Definitely appreciate you. Are you a Raiders fan? Are you in like what NFL team you like? Do you like football in general? What it do? Loving the draft so far. Yeah, man, it's good. It's dope. It's going to be interesting. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be so interesting, especially in the later rounds. Not the later rounds, but the second round. But I want to see later in the first who goes where. That's when I'll know. Where it's going to get somebody good at pick 36. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't trade back. Everybody wants to trade back. Don't trade back. There's somebody that's going to be there that we might need or we definitely need, and it's going to be good. So, Greg, I agree. Draft back on, y'all. Shout out to California.
Legends on 4. They are proven. We have made 14 picks in this draft. Let's look at Mel's best available. Brought to you by Courtyard by Marriott. Mel.
Cordell McKay, 11, the third receiver on the board for me, 11 overall. Monroe Freely, we're talking about a super talented left tackle. I'm sure the Detroit Lions are at 17 saying, we just get him to fall down to us. The Lions need a guy like Monroe doing. Kenyon Sadiq and Ruben Bain, they got to be are going to be in play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They need an edge rusher. The tight end, got to play Tampa Bay, goes for Bain, with Sadiq. And Dylan McClain, we've had him to Minnesota. We've had Harrison Smith been there for a long time, playing at a high level. We've had an heir apparent who think Dylan Bain, a really smart football player, went from Purdue to Oregon and didn't miss a beat.
Maybe the best defensive player all season last year was Ruben Bain, and he's still on the board for a team that needs an edge rusher.
You've been telling us for a while, Booger, in your hometown of Tampa, a lot of pressure on
Bucks get Ruben Bain is crazy.
To get that defense stored up. We'll see if that's the direction.
Let me see if I can go 3 for 3.
We approach the midway point.
I got the Caleb Downs one, Ty Simpson. Let's see if I can go.
Number 15.
I have a feeling the Bucks is, yeah. That's where they going.
With the
Ruben Bain
15th
Jr.
pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Ruben Bain Jr., linebacker, Miami.
And there he is. The entire country got to see the way he dominated games as he led the Hurricanes all the way to the national championship game. 5 sacks in 4 playoff games. Grew up in Miami and stayed home. A consensus All-American now. He was the AC Defensive Player of the Year last season.
We talked about 30 and 3/4 arms. That's why he's going to prove and beat the odds, and he can get it done in the NFL. Did it in college, coached by Jason Taylor. So every technique that you need. He's got a variety of moves to get after the quarterback. Strong hand. He takes straight angles to get after the quarterback. Didn't run a 40 because there was speculation he'd be in that 4.8 range. So it's the back of the great 40 time and speed off the edge and the short arm is going to prevent Ruben Bain from doing what he did in college against the AOGs and other occupation guys. Can he take that into the NFL? Just play that into, I say, the shorter arm length you prefer and the lack of, like, say, that speed off the edge, Lewis.
Yeah, look, there were some who thought that this might happen, right? We talked about it as well. That Ruben, nice safe slide here because of some of the things you just talked about. Maybe they started getting uncomfortable with, hey, look, even though my eyes don't deceive me, I see what he's showing me on tape.
What the Jets gonna
Some
do?
people just couldn't get past the fact that, hey, are those short arms going to come into play? Is that lack of running a 40 time and what maybe the projected 40 time looks like, is that going to come into play? Todd Bowles says, hey, look, I had to blitz like crazy last year, and I still couldn't get the sack and pressure production I needed. This guy did it all year long. He's coached by the great Jason Taylor. Yep. I'm going to take the chance here. I think this presents tremendous value. If I'm Tampa Bay, I'm ecstatic.
You know what's amazing is we always talk about turn the tape on, watch the film. But when you watch the film, he was the most dominant defensive lineman in college football last year. I don't care how long his arms are. Can he do the things that a defensive lineman can do? Can he get off the ball? Can he come out of his stance and thread the ball? He can do that.
That's my
Once
squad.
he does that, can he
He been
turn
doing
the
this
corner?
shit
Can he
since a
dip his
freshman.
shoulder? Is his ankles flexible enough to get to the quarterback? He can do that. Doesn't matter if his arms are short. Can he set the edge? 30
Come
inch
here.
arms,
All right.
offensive tackle's arms are longer. I can set the edge. I can hold up against the run. And then here's what I love about it. He's a power-based player with heavy hands that understands how to flip his hip. As somebody who's vertically challenged like myself, I was told I was too small. I was drafted 15th. This young man is drafted 15th. I want to see what he does in Tampa. The same team that picked me, Greeny. I think he can play in the NFL, and I can't wait to watch him play.
Marius Envoy takes us down again to Laura Rutledge, who was standing by with Ruben Bain. Laura.
Ruben, you've said you can play anywhere on the line. How will your versatility elevate this Bucs defense?
Because my mentality is what I could do. That's how I think about myself. I know I'm the best in the country. I'm sure.
Every step of the way, you've proven doubters wrong. The confidence that you can continue to do that at the NFL level.
Like my mentality, I'm telling you, I can do anything I put my mind to because of my mindset. And I know when I get at this next level, it's on and popping.
Thanks.
My God.
Thank you.
My God.
That's a serious man.
I love it. On and popping. That's the great left the line of the draft so far.
He walked right by that area where the players take the photos. He didn't have any time for that. He is all about business.
But here's the thing, Greeny. Just like Tyson with the emotion, all process, we've knocked the guy down and said he can't play. He's got short arms. If you just turn the tape on, he was the most dominant guy last year. That's got to count for something.
We got a chance to do a couple of Miami games this year with our college football crew, and I got a chance to talk to this young man. He is deadly serious about his craft. He puts in all the time. Jason Taylor raves about his work ethic. He is the student of the game. He's going to be a hell of a pro.
Mel, the New York Jets on the clock. I have 15 seconds. What are you expecting for them at 16?
I would say weapons. Just give the quarterback a fighting chance, whether it's Mekhi Lemon or Kenyon Sadiq.
Okay. See if they go offense here. Again, the Jets early in this night selecting David Bailey to help rush the passer. They drastically need a wide receiver to go on the opposite side of Garrett Wilson. We'll see if that's the direction they go. Here comes the commissioner, the New York Jets' second pick of the night at number 16.
With the 16th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Kenyon Sadiq, tight end, Oregon.
That's a very interesting pick. His coach at Oregon, Dan Lanning, said, we're lucky to have the best tight end in the nation. And last year, Kenyon Sadiq proved him right. He was the Big Ten tight end of the year. He had 51 catches and 8 touchdowns. Hell, he ran a ridiculous 4.39 at the combine, and that pretty much cemented his hearing is naturally.
I don't know, he's a rare talent, and he's young, he's developing. He's got to get a little better as blocker, and he will. He's got to eliminate some of the drops, and then he will work on that. But he's a chess piece, Lou, and you can move him around. He's more than a tight end. He's an athlete. He can go wide. He can play anywhere.
As soon as I watched him play, Mel, you know what I thought of? I thought of Vernon Davis, a tight end that size with that kind of speed. He's not going to be attached to the formation. You're going to split him out. He's too big for safeties and linebackers, too fast for the other guys that are going to try to line up and cover him. I think he's a weapon. He's going to be a matchup nightmare. The ability to create explosive plays down the field, I think, is what's going to provide.
If you didn't know what his position was, you turn on Oregon tape, and we got a chance to cover them in the playoffs. You would go, that's just a big, fast, wide receiver. And then you go, oh, he's listed as the tight end. That's exactly how they're looking at him. That's exactly how Frank Clark is looking at this guy. He's going, hey, look, man, he don't need to be attached to the core. We're going to move him all over the place.
After the combine, the calls I got from the NFL teams were about his football IQ. Every formation he identified, he knew everything. The kid's like 20 years old.
They love him out there in Eugene because they say he's a great teammate, and he will do the dirty work, Mel. He will block. He's got the mentality.
They love him back at his alma mater in Idaho as well. The celebration is on. The New York Jets have made 2 selections tonight. They go defense with David Bailey at number 2. They go offense with Kenyon Sadiq at number 16 as the New York Jets make their 2 selections. The Lions are on the clock. The Vikings will come behind them. There's Bailey of the Jets, and Sadiq went after him. The NFL draft continues in just a moment on ESPN.
You're watching the 2026 NFL Draft, presented by Bud Light.
Sarah Benzino, Brandon Coley, Jablonski Auto Body, LLC.
Well, it's just shaping up to be a good draft so far, man. A really good draft. You feel me? Shoot. You still got some guys out there. Only one safety was taken. One corner was taken. So you still got a lot more corners unless they get it's a slew of corners just come off the board, but I don't see that happening in the first round. So look, maybe we can go grab like Diego Pons. The corner. Yeah, I mean, shoot. So you never know. But just looking at it, from the outside looking in, look like there's a lot of D tackles. I'm surprised. Like no D tackles came off the board, if I'm not mistaken. So no D tackles came off the board. Couple of linebackers and defensive ends. Man, this is crazy. We might be able to put something together. You feel me? We might be able to put something together. But Mendoza is the start off. It's a good pick, man. I don't care. Like, it's a good pick. I was riding with it. I was riding behind it. Even though I liked Ty Simpson better, I still thought Fernando Mendoza was a really good quarterback. If you wanted to ask me if he was worthy of number 1, yeah, he is. you know, but I'm just proud of the kid, man, you know, how it feels when it's somebody you got love for, you know, granted, you know, MS is something serious, you feel me? One of my best friends, man, one of my good friends, you know, shout out, rest in peace to my big bro Hubs. He had MS, and I was there from the beginning and almost towards the end, you know. But you know, I know what it is, so it's a proud moment for him, you know, being there for his mom getting to see him accomplish something that's, like they said, like a bunch of accomplishments at you know, in the last 5 months, you feel me? Winning the Heisman National Championship, becoming a #1 overall player, like pick. Man, you know, you gotta love it, you know. So shout out to Mendoza, man. Shout out to the Mendoza family. Raider Nation is behind you, and yes, we gonna run it up. Oh, the pick is in, y'all. The Lions.
With the 17th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Blake Miller, tackle, Clemson.
Okay.
Blake Miller is Clemson's Iron Man.
I mean,
he won the starting job at right tackle to begin his true freshman year, and he never gave it up. 4-year starter, 54 games, started them all. Clemson says he has its career record for most snaps from scrimmage. He never came off the field.
He did. He was a consistent player for Clemson. Where they had some underachievers, he wasn't. Week in and week out, he was out there, durable, reliable. Penny Snow's on the left tackle. They were going to leave him at right tackle. Maybe Monroe Freeling steps in here, but now you know Blake Miller is the right tackle. Should have been Central Casting, Lou. Yeah. 6'6" and a quarter, 6'6" and a half, 317, but long arm. Ran 504, 32 vertical, 32 rep. You mentioned the 3,778 stats and 54 starts. Battle tested. Does play a little high, but he looks the part. It's a heck of a right tackle.
It's super competitive, right? When you watch his pace, this guy's a mauler in the run game. When the height and the timing is right in his pass pro, he can anchor, he can punch, he can stone you. But they struggled as far as their pass block win rate, their effectiveness last year. Derek Goff's effectiveness dropped off a cliff when he was pressured. The statistics bear it out. They needed to address the offensive line. This is a foundational building block draft pick.
All right, we'll stay in the NFC North here as the Lions take Blake Miller, and now the Minnesota Vikings will select next to number 18. That pick is 10. A reminder, the cadence coming a little more quickly this year, rather than 10 minutes between selections, as there have been for the last several years. There's only 8 minutes here, and most teams have not used all 8.
I just don't remember who said it.
The Minnesota Vikings at 18, and the commissioner, Roger Goodell.
With the 18th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Caleb Banks, defensive end, Florida.
A transfer from Louisville, spent 3 years at Florida, limited to just 3 games last year because of a foot injury, but he had 4.5 sacks the year before, and he has the athleticism of a basketball star booger, which he was in high school.
Well, when you think about this, when they made him, they don't make many guys that look like this. 6'6", 327 pounds, 35-inch arms, 10-inch hands. He only played 3 games this past season. If you want to know what he was, go back to the 24 season and watch the game against LSU. Simply lined up and dominated. A long defensive tackle. At his best, Mel, I think he's got Chris Jones-like potential inside. As a rusher, as a run defender, he can be dominant. He went down to the Senior Bowl, and he showed up and he showed out. Now, the problem is going to be, from a medical standpoint, if you're Minnesota, the foot injury. They had to check the foot out because a big man with a foot injury usually doesn't get better. But when he's healthy, He's one of the best defensive linemen that we've seen.
That's the thing, right? I mean, when you see him in person, I got to stand next to him down the practice field. I mean, my jaw hit the turf. He is massive, massive. And you're right. You got to watch 2024 in order to get a good feel for him.
All right, the Carolina Panthers are on the clock, and then the Cowboys make their second pick of the night, followed by the hometown Steelers as the draft continues in a moment on ESPN.
I want to see what the Panthers get.
The NFL Draft Green Room is brought to you by Lowe's. It's never too early to earn your Sunday with Lowe's.
I'll tell you this right now, though. If Akeem Messidor drops to the second, I want the Raiders to take him. First of all, Max loves this guy. That's number one. We need to take him. He's a beast. He's a freaking beast, bro. Trust me, he's from the U. So that means I watched him. I wish this motherfucker stop flying. Just stop. It's so annoying. But yeah, Banks, they got a stud, man. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't know they was gonna pick him at 18. That's crazy. Well, I wonder who the Panthers gonna get. They might get an offensive lineman too to protect what's the name. His ass got caught in the web. Yeah, that's stinking. Whatever spiders in there, I hope he eats the fuck out. I hate stink bugs. Stupid ass caught in the web. Good look. James in the building. What it do? You say Raiders. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Would they come on with all these freaking commercials? Dang, yeah. That's why I don't watch regular television no more. Freaking commercials, man. Like, it's just trash, bro. But it's finna go down, y'all. I'm telling you. This team just gotten better. The Giants has definitely gotten better. They ain't playing. You feel me? They not playing. They went out and got Arvell Reese. Then turn around and got Mwanga. Man. This is crazy. And the pick is in, y'all.
With the 19th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers, Monroe Freeling.
I knew it.
Tackle.
I didn't know they were playing, but I knew they were going to get an offensive line.
Out of Charleston, South Carolina, he is big. 6'7", 315. Played a lot his first two seasons, but didn't become the full-time left tackle until last year when he was named second-team All-SEC.
Adam is the 13th best player in this draft. Carolina gets him at 19 at the injury left tackle. You talk about a guy like this stepping in for a Bryce Young at quarterback. Size is an issue with Bryce. He needs that clean pocket. You talk about Monroe Freely, 6'7.5", 315 pounds. Talk about 34.5 arms. You know, about vertical jump of 33.5, a 4'9", 340 with huge hands. Only 17 starts, but in pass pro this year, did a great job. Run blocking needs to be improved. Blake Miller had 54 starts. This kid only had 17, so he's still a work in progress. I thought he'd actually go a little earlier than this. I think at this point for Carolina, knowing that Bryce Young is at his best, when he gets that clean pocket, they can see that field close. This makes sense for the Carolina Panthers. This kid's best football head, and the way he improved the test, bro, with only limited, basically a one-year start. Volume for what kind of player he can be next year and moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, he's 6'7", right? So he's got to get that frame down. Punch timing has to be improved. But they're going to pencil him in at left tackle for Ike Ekwonu.
All right, so as I mentioned, the Eagles have traded up with the Cowboys into this spot. So they'll be making the next selection here. These two teams traded back in 2021. The Eagles moved up for Devontae Smith. The Cowboys moved back and took Micah Parsons. That one worked out well for both teams. We'll see how this one works out. The Eagles pick at number 20.
With the 20th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Makai, wide receiver, USC.
So the Philadelphia Eagles take a wide receiver. If you've been following the NFL offseason news, you are aware that that is significant in a variety of ways, up to and including the possibility that they'll be trading their star, A. Brown. But let's talk about him. He won the Biletnikoff Award last year as the top receiver in the nation, over 1,100 yards receiving and 11 touchdowns. Mel, you have been raving about him since September.
Howie Roseman does a great job as the Hall of Fame GM, right? Makai Lemon plays fierce. I say that because with the ball in his hands, and he attacks the ball. You know, he doesn't drop. He doesn't drop the football at all. After the catch, trying to tackle him. You know how tough it would be. You're a defensive back. Get this kid to the ground. He plays fierce. He attacks the ball. He runs so well after the catch. And he was also an outstanding punt returner, average almost 12 yards per punt return against Iowa. Neil Phil Parker's defense, they know who they have to stop, right? They couldn't stop Makai Lemon. Against Iowa, he had 10 catches for 153 yards, a touchdown in that game. Route running, hands, versatility. Look at that football IQ, yards after catch, plenty of yak there. Return skills, an added bonus. He was one of my favorite players in the draft all year. We talked about him on the first draft podcast, Brady. I thought he could possibly drop because he's not the LT player. Yeah. He doesn't look the part of that elite one. But I'll tell you what, with Devontae and company, Jalen Hurts is going to love this kid.
You know, when you talk to some of the receiver coaching, one of the compliments they gave him, he plays bigger than he is, and the toughness that you'll have. And when you're Philadelphia with all the A.J. Brown conversation looming, this is another weapon for Jalen Hurts. In a big-time year with all the noise coming out of Philadelphia, interesting Howie Roseman, with all that noise, goes and gets Jalen Hurts another weapon with the A.J. Brown situation looming.
Yeah, look, if you just turn on that Iowa game that Mel's referencing, you'll sit there and go, this guy's his number one all day. I mean, he made some plays in that game, especially in contested catch situations and in the middle of the field, that you sit there and going, wait a second now. This guy's only 5'11", 190, and he runs 4x3. So how is he doing this? He has got the heart of a lion, and he's going to really, really make himself a very popular player in Philadelphia just because of the way he plays the game.
This is a steal. According to our predictor, there was only a 4% chance that Makai Lemon would be available at number 20. Then I can take a look at some of the highlights.
There's 11th highest rated player on my board. Watch him here. Sell the route, the burst, the ability to make every catch. But it's off target. He's catching the football with his hands, but he has the body catch and cut. He knows how to, he's a natural pass catcher. Look at the catch here. This is phenomenal stuff. You know, this was on a consistent basis, week in and week out. He's been flat here, flat there. He did it every week, and he's got the added bonus of those return skills. I'll tell you what, you get the ball in his hand, you can see him here. He's going to break tackles. You better bring it as a defensive back when you're trying to tackle this kid, Lou.
Yeah, one of the things they love the most about him is football IQ. Against zone coverage, you better not lose him. Then he'll just chew you up. He'll be a first down producing machine.
All right, Marriott Bonvoy takes us down to the stage. Laura Rutledge is standing by with Makai Lemon. Laura.
Makai, from the first time you ever put on pads and a helmet to this moment right here, being a first-round pick in the NFL draft, what has defined your journey?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I'm just so blessed right now. I just praise the Lord for every moment, really. It's a dream come true. I can't even believe this right now.
When you look out at those Philly fans and you think about the fan base that's about to embrace you with open arms, what will they love most about you?
And they getting a door. It's ready to work, for real. No plan.
Thank you, Makai.
Yo, I like
Congratulations.
Makai the swag, yo.
All right, Laura, thank you. And as the
swag is
NFL
like-
moves this draft from city
great,
to city,
yo.
one of the highlights, as always, when the hometown team makes its selection. That moment has come. The Steelers at 21.
A revival of the terrible cow. You will see thousands upon thousands of terrible cows waving out in those stands today. The terrible cow is poisonous, right? So are the Steelers.
Well, the Steelers are up next, and they're playing some. I can't even listen to this right now because I don't want to get copyrighted. So get that. But whenever this debacle over here in Pittsburgh will be ready, you know what I'm saying. But what you want to keep dropping in the draft? Shoot, D tackle. I don't want no more D tackles going on. They already took Caleb Banks, so it's no Caleb Banks for me. Now, I'm hoping to get Lee Hunter. Just saying. Yeah, I know they're not about to have a mini concert. I know they're not about to have a mini concert for this freaking pick. Are you kidding me? Yo, that is a bunch of bro. They real deal about to have like a little mini something for this pick. And he better be the way they acting right now. I don't know if y'all watching this, but the way they acting right now, who's ordering a Mendoza jersey? I might order one. I don't know if I'll get I might get the white one. I gotta get a black Woodson jersey though. There's a couple jerseys I gotta get, but Mendoza I might just get. Matter of fact, I might just get the black one because I don't want to dirty up the white one. So. Maybe I only wear that when I'm at the crib. Yo, they real deal having a moment. This is outrageous right now. This is crazy. Who do they think they are? Holding up the draft for this nonsense.
Recipients, featuring both high school tackle players and flag football athletes. Jerome?
The Jerome Bettis Leadership Award recognizes high school football players who demonstrate leadership, character, and service, both on and off the field. Congratulations to each of you. We wish all of you the best as you continue your football journey.
You're ordering a Mendoza jersey?
The last time I introduced the Steelers' first round pick, I was fortunate to introduce TJ Watt. And with the 21st pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Max Ihanachor, tackle, Arizona State.
What an extraordinary scene here in Pittsburgh. And an extraordinary story is Max Ihanachor. His family came to the U.S. from Nigeria when he was 13. The first time he ever played organized football in his life. was in junior college at East Los Angeles College. He spent 2 years there, then on to Arizona State, where he started 31 games over 3 years, and now here he is, Mel, a first-round pick in the NFL
In
draft.
high school, didn't even have a football team, Green, like you talked about. You think about where he came from, where he is now. Amazing. 6'6", 321 pounds. 34 arms, ran 4.91, 30.5 vertical, and 25 reps. Those are unbelievable numbers across the board. The improvement that he showed this past year was outstanding. He started all 14 games, made huge progress from 2024 to 2023. He didn't have a sprint. He had the labrum surgery going in, old injury, bigger, stronger. Talk about a guy who's ascending, work in progress. Hand placement has to improve. But at the Senior Bowl practices, he was a standout performer against some of the good pass rushers. Not great down there, but decent pass rusher who got the best big stop and solidified in Hunter, despite the lack of a lot of experience as a first-round draft.
Well, he was fantastic in Mobile. When you sit there, that was my first exposure to him. Hadn't seen him during the season. I was going, who is this guy? I mean, he was stoning people. Turn on the Texas Tech tape this year. Watch him block Romello Height, David Bailey. He deals with them now, and he is that's the next phase. I was on the phone with our own Matt Barry, who's an ASU alum, and head coach Kenny Dillingham. The next phase for Max is for Max to say, hey, look, I'm one of the baddest dudes out here. And to go ahead and have that mindset, because if he is proactive with it and uses all those physical tools we talked about, he has dominant, shut-down tackle ability. Dominance.
And when you think about the Steelers, he could be a possibility of Jones. Their left tackle got a neck issue, may have to have neck surgery. So think about this team as they wait on Aaron Rodgers to come back, if he's going to come back or not. They have to have a left tackle. And with the Bobby Jones situation, this gives them, even though he's young in a project, this gives them a little bit of insurance at the left tackle spot.
They've done pretty well at number 21 in the past. Lynn Swan was the 21st pick in the 1974 draft for the Steelers. That worked out fairly well. So now it's Matthew Hanachor who goes 21. So we catch our breath. The Los Angeles Chargers selection is in. Interesting decision to be made there. And then the Cowboys will be behind them. Now 30 seconds to talk about the Chargers here. What are we thinking among the players who are available?
Well, you look at the offensive guard slot. They hope Bengal Awani would be there. He's gone. You know about edge rusher, Ruben Bain gone. You got Akeem Messador. You got Zion Young. Got some edge rushers still there. Safety Dylan Feeneman, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren still on the board as well for the LA Chargers at this point.
All right, we'll see what the Chargers decide to do. And again, the Cowboys are behind them, having moved back in that trade with the Eagles just a few moments ago. So it'll be the Chargers, then the Cowboys, and then the Browns will make their second pick of the night. That's the one they got in the trade with Jacksonville last year. Here we go. The Chargers pick is in, and the commissioner is ready with the announcement.
With the 22nd pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Akeem Messador, linebacker, Miami.
Boy, he was terrific in that playoff run, wasn't he? 5.5 sacks in the playoff, including 2 in the title game against Fernando Mendoza and Indiana. Grew up in Ottawa, and he's an older prospect, Mel, and that's part of the conversation. He turned 25 years old earlier this month.
He did. 25 years of age, Canadian kid coming to Miami. You think about what he was able to do opposite Ruben Bain. There was always that debate. Who was the better player? Who was more responsible for some of the disruption that took place? Bain did a great job. Messador did as well. You can kick him inside through. You can get on that center guard and make the presence felt. Get after the quarterback. He hustles. He can seal the edge against the run. Plays the run pretty effectively. Good all-around player.
Yeah, he was a former defensive tackle. Cut some weight. Moved out to the edge in the 3-4 scheme that they use out there in LA. You can put him inside in their 4-down sub on there, in some of their sub rush in their 3-4. They're outside guys anyway. 2 below 2. These are all guys who are kind of built like Mez is, and he's been taught by the best. Him and Ruben Bain, they were the alphas in that entire locker room down there in Coral Gables. That's a nice pickup for the Chargers.
So Messador and Bain each go off the board in the last hour or so, but all of the magic has been here in Pittsburgh. They get their man. The Steeler fans get to scream their hearts out and cheer for their teams, waving their terrible towels with the draft here in Pittsburgh. The Cowboys are on the clock and will have their second first-round selection coming up next. You're watching the draft on ESPN.
This is the 2026 NFL Draft, presented by Bud Light.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're also one of America's largest financial services companies. Like, he's so much more than Saquon Barkley.
I'm also Staycom Barkley.
Oh, man.
Staycom Barkley.
Common.
Yo, that's funny. I remember that. Staycom Barkley was crazy. Message. I like him before the Senior Bowl and Combine. Yeah, nah, facts. Yurp, that was my guy. Oh, for real? Max, you said, I've seen you put him up there too. Yeah, that you right. I seen you put him up there. He said, what did he say? Staycom Barkley. That always cracks me up. I ain't gonna lie. Chargers did good. Screw 'em. I don't care. Even though they got one of my homies. You feel me? Screw 'em. Where did Ruben Bain go? Ruben Bain went to damn. Got it that fast. Let me see. Yo, so the Cowboys picking again? That's crazy. What pick is in though? The pick is in. Mid-round. No. Yep, Giants got Arville Reese. Chiefs got Mansour Delane. Where did he go? Washington got Sonny Styles. Saints got Jordan Tyson. Browns got Spencer Fondu. Francis Mwaga to the Giants. Caleb Downs to the Cowboys, and they picking again. Caden Proctor to the Dolphins. Rams get Ty Simpson. Vega Ione to the Ravens. Good pick. Bucks, dang, yeah. Ruben Bain went to the Bucks. Appreciate it, Greg. You did say Bucks. I don't know why I'm thinking. You did say Bucks. Good news, Cooper Jr. is falling in Boston. Nah, facts.
He's the LT player. Yeah. Well, he looks the part, but the production this year didn't match the talent. We thought he would take his game to an elite level. He didn't, but on talent, he saw a young kid developing, but he did not build on 2024. He had a down year from the production standpoint. He's one of those edge rushers that's certainly in the mix at this point.
All right, the Cowboys selection is in. They took Caleb Downs earlier tonight. Here comes their second pick of this round number one.
With the 23rd pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Malachi Lawrence, defensive end, University of Central Florida.
There, the Cowboys needed defense, and tonight they got it. They took Caleb Downs earlier, and now Malachi Lawrence, the young man from Louisville, had 19 and a half sacks over the last 3 seasons. One of just 7 players in the country who had at least 5 sacks each of the last 3 years. So great consistency, and as a senior, he was first team All Big 12.
And when you talk about Malachi Lawrence, you talk about a guy 6'4", 250, and shoots. He ran 4.5 in the 40, but the 10-yard is a 1.5. That means the get off, the ability to get out of his stance and bring shoots off the edge. 11 tackles for loss, 7 sacks. His best football is in front of him. He's got the ability to have the long arm, the speed of power. His best rush move, Lou, are in front of him. I just like how much juice he has. And if you're Dallas, you get Caleb Downs, you get Malachi Lawrence. I like that combination.
Yeah, that first flip against Baylor, he absolutely just whipped that tackle from Baylor all day long, knocking the ball off the quarterback. I really thought his hand use was kind of like advanced, Booger. I mean, he had hand slap swats. I mean, he was all over the place, and he plays hard. That's the thing I liked about him. That's a nice pickup for Dallas. This is a nice player.
And they traded back to take him. So those are the two newest Dallas Cowboys. The Cleveland Browns are on the board. There's Malachi Lawrence. He's headed to 50. The Browns are on the clock. And we're back in a moment in Pittsburgh.
The 2026 NFL Draft is brought to you by Marriott Bonvoy, where game day checks in.
Browns is up. Browns is up.
What did you bring back from your last trip? A dumpling you'll never forget. What nature truly.
Of course. Why wouldn't I be happy? That means it's gonna be the future. Why wouldn't I be happy?
Those values our founders shared: honor, service, loyalty, integrity. Those are the things we live by. Do our members know that? We'll do that. USAA, taking care of our own. Like football, small things, daily work. When you add up all those inches, that's the good one.
Yeah, I told you. I knew he was gonna go to Rams. And I said it, and I'm saying it, and I said it before. He's going to sit behind Mendoza. He's going to sit behind Matthew Stafford. And when he gets his turn, watch. They can win the Super Bowl. They can win the Super Bowl this year. You know, you never know. Tyson's smart move on them. Yeah, you heard what Louis Riddick said. It's the time to get a quarterback is when you don't need one. Not when you're back against the wall and you like, you the top picks. Like you said, so yeah. You feel me?
Projects now. Football Sunday.
This one has crop ice underneath.
Well, it's the new.
What kind of ice, actually?
I can't wait to see what the Raiders. Beat the Jets and Gino. Do we play them this year? I don't know if we play them this year.
Tonight, taking King Proctor, the big offensive tackle, and tonight they will now make the 24th pick in this draft, which will complete their end of the trade they made with Jacksonville last year that said Travis Hunter there. You saw the other names that came to Cleveland in exchange for last year's second overall pick. And now, whatever name the commissioner reads,
You gotta get a wide receiver, Grady.
Here we go, Rob.
Gotta get a wide receiver for Shador Sanders.
Thinking wide up.
That can catch the football.
With the 24th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Casey Concepcion, wide receiver, Texas A&M.
There you go,
Casey.
underline it. The Browns wide receivers had the fewest receptions, the fewest receiving yards, and the fewest touchdown catches in the NFL last year. So now they get the tackle and they get the wide receiver in round one tonight.
And Shador, you get him the ball, he's accurate thrower and throw the football. But Casey Concepcion's got to be more consistent catching the football. It's 7 drops this past year. What I liked about him, when he had a drop, it didn't bother him. It didn't haunt him the rest of the game. He's a great punt returner as well. But after the ball was in his hands, after the catch, that yak is impressive. There you go. It battles for everything. It was Kevin Concepcion when he was at NC State as a true freshman. They caught my eye then. Comes Casey Concepcion, and we're just doing the same thing at A&M, but he's got to eliminate some of those drops.
You know who my comp for him was Zay Flowers. Todd Monken, the OC in Baltimore, who did he have there? Zay Flowers. So you can tell he understood what he wanted. He wanted juice, to run after the catch, the ability to get explosive plays. That determined ball games in the National Football League. I understand the drops, but what's amazing, he didn't have many drops in the punt return. He has concentration about catching the ball, but in the punt return game, he can catch the football. But you can tell Todd Monken, the head coach, identified what he wanted. He wanted juice like Zay. That's the comp, and he went and got it.
7.36 yards of yak per reception this year. That just gives you so many different options as far as how to get him the football, whether it be in the screen game, quick slant game. He can win on the go ball down the field as well. I mean, he can do it all. He's got a nice package to him, no question about it.
Interestingly, he won the Paul Hornung Award, which emphasizes players who play multiple positions. Last year, Travis Hunter had won it the previous 2 years. Now he comes to Cleveland in the Travis Hunter trade. So we move on from here. The Bears will pick at number 25, and we'll continue in 30 seconds after a word from Roundup Dual Action.
Wait. Does anything keep them from coming back?
So Casey Concepcion is gone. He's out of the picture. So, yeah. So you got Omar Cooper still on the board. Maybe the Bears pick him up. You still got the bid. Maybe the Bears pick him up.
Well, we continue from Pittsburgh right after this.
49ers, them three can get Omar Cooper Jr.
If you're waiting for a traditional liver transplant, you may miss moments like these. Nearly a quarter.
Dang. But the Bears, they can get Omar Cooper Jr. Maybe, but like I said, Buffalo or who's after that? Or the 49ers, which they went and got Mike Evans, but he ain't gonna be there for long. He probably wouldn't, like 1 year deal. 2 year deal. So, we shall see. As soon as these stupid commercial. This is crazy, yeah. As we wait. See what the Bears do. This is not a bad draft, to be honest, so far. This is not a bad draft at all. I don't know what it is with all these commercials. But it's crazy. This is crazy work. But Mendoza, he's ours. I know he can't wait to get work. When is rookie minicamp, yo? Anybody know when rookie minicamp starts? I would look it up, but I can't. I'm watching the draft on my phone.
Have been warm. It was 80 degrees. Hundreds of thousands of fans here in Western Pennsylvania celebrating the NFL draft. And the Chicago Bears are up next at number 25. The commissioner is ready with the pick.
With the 25th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Dylan Thieneman, defensive back, Oregon.
Look at little Johnny Cage looking at.
He was 1 year with the Ducks, 2 years with Purdue. Big Ten's freshman of the year. 86 tackles, 2 picks, and a sack last year. And it runs in the family. His 2 older brothers also played safety at Purdue.
They did. He did a great job. He had 6 interceptions that freshman year at Purdue. You think about the Bears where they are. Their safeties. They want safeties that can cover. And Dylan Thieneman is a guy who plays box. He's got range. He's 6 foot 200 pounds. Ran 4.35. Had a 41 vertical. This kid made a lot of plays throughout his career. Did a good job at Oregon. Reached the quarterback's eyes very effectively. Was not a huge presence in run support, but for what they're looking for. Remember, Brian Branch, he had in Detroit. Ben Bob Johnson saw Brian Branch, the guy who can move around. Dylan Thieneman's versatility, Lou, and comes into play here. A safety that with some cover skills is what they needed. That's what they got in Dylan Thieneman.
Yeah, look, he's a guy who they use in a lot of different ways out there at Oregon. They used to run those 3 safety looks and play him in that rover spot. Again, another guy I got a chance to talk to this past fall. He said he left Purdue and went to Oregon because he felt as though he needed to level up his game, wanted to get more exposure, wanted to get real top-level coaching, play against top-level competition. And he did that this year. He was a solid player, went crazy at the combine. His testing numbers were off the charts, but you're right. Dennis Allen will go ahead and tell you, he'll use him in various different ways, just like he was used at Oregon. But the one thing he is, he's a guy who can play in space because he's fast, athletic, and make plays on the ball. He's going to be a guy who's just going to be expected to do that, make plays on the football.
The first time the Bears have selected a defensive player in the first round since Roquan Smith in 2018. No team in the league had gone this long without taking a defender in round 1. But now the Bears get their man in Dylan Thieneman. That defense really struggled last year. They were opportunistic, Mel, taking the ball away, but really not a solid defense. Thieneman should be able to help.
He will. I'll tell you what, talking about opportunistic, he was throughout his career. This past year had 96 tackles. Over 100 was a freshman 18 years old at Purdue. This kid is a guy who will hit. He got 40.5 tackles for loss and 2 interceptions, 5 pass breakups this year. Run support, that's a tackle every now and then, but I love the way he reads the quarterback's eyes. Talking about a guy was a reliable overall tackler, but it's his range in coverage and the ability, I think, to read the quarterback's eyes and then go attack the ball, come away with the interception. They said he had 6 early on. So for Chicago, scheme fit, talent level, the physical skills of Dylan Freeman is what they wanted. But those are guys who weren't good in coverage. This kid can play a variety of roles. He can play that single high, which I hate, but he can certainly cover. He can play in the box. Dylan Freeman, 4.35 40, solidified him as a first-round pick.
All right, well, he is standing by now with Laura. Marriott Bonvoy takes us down to the stage. Laura Rutledge is with Dylan Freeman.
Dylan, you're a Chicago Bear. What stands out most to you about your journey to becoming a first-round draft pick?
Never knew what kind of path I was going to take. I mean, started at Purdue, ended at Oregon, but just extremely thankful to everyone that's been with me throughout the way and the journey I've gone on.
You grew up idolizing his safety and studying him a ton that people here know well in Troy Polamalu. What traits do you bring to the table that can make best one for the Bears?
I think I'm very versatile, and I'm able to use my speed and play recognition to play fast and play aggressive.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
Lewis, a moment on Dylan Freeman.
Yeah, what he said was the fact that he's versatile, and that's what they really like about him out there. Again, I keep mentioning the fact that they like to play him, and when they have 3 safety schemes and they have a guy who's a robber who sits about 10, 11 yards, he said he loved that because it gave him a lot of freedom to just be an athlete. And I think that's what Dennis Allen's going to want to do. Put him close enough to where he can be a factor against the run, have some free reign, against, use his instincts and athletic ability.
All right, Houston has made a trade here. They've moved up a couple of spots with Buffalo. The Texans coming up from 28 to 26, and their pick is in. So the commissioner is making his way to the stage to announce Houston's selection. They won a playoff game last year here in Pittsburgh, of course, on a Monday night, and then had a very rough outing in New England the following weekend. Here's the commissioner with the Texans pick as they move up here to number 26.
With the 26th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Keelan Rutledge, guard, Georgia Tech.
A transfer from Middle Tennessee State. He's the first Georgia Tech player to be named first-team All-American, Lou, in consecutive years since Calvin Johnson.
Look, this is a guy who head coach Brent Key said is the best offensive lineman that he's ever coached. Or he has the potential to be the best offensive lineman he's ever coached. Which in essence, he was saying he is the best. This guy is nasty. Absolutely nasty. He is a road grader in the run game. And once he gets his feet, his hands, and everything timed up in the pass game, he won't be able to be beaten that way either because he is an absolute tank when it comes to setting his feet and being able to anchor against power. This football team down in Georgia Tech was all about grit because that's how Brent Key coaches as a former offensive line coach. And this guy was the alpha of that group. That is a nice pickup. He has been rising. People really like what this kid brings to the table. And he's going to be a tone setter for the Texans.
All right, so the Texans moved up a few spots to get their man. The 49ers are on the clock. The Bills will follow them. And then Kansas City making its second pick of the night. As the draft is from Pittsburgh in just a moment.
That was a solid pick. Another
You're
offensive lineman
watching
off
the
the board.
2026 NFL Draft, presented by Bud Light.
In life and in business, the goalposts often move. But at Accenture, we say, game on. Because whatever goal you're heading for, together, we'll get there.
When a shopping cart smashed my headlight, we worried we'd have to fight to get paid for such a small claim.
And life would revolve around the shopping cart.
The
But that never happened. Geico got it fixed fast.
Zip time. It feels good to get going again. It feels good to Geico.
Oh, more cheese? The Applebee's OM Cheeseburger is back, now with more cheese. Our juicy bacon cheeseburger served on a sizzling skillet of cheese. Too much.
My bad, y'all. Dang, I keep doing it. I don't know why I always do that, but anyways. I gotta learn. I really gotta learn. But anyways, draft looking pretty solid so far. Looking pretty good for us in the second round. Yeah, let's see what happens. But yeah, so it's going down, y'all. It's going down. Oh, Dolphins pick again? Dang. I didn't know they got 2 first rounders. Oh yeah, what's his name? Jalen Waddle trade. Wait, where did Jalen Waddle go? That the wide receivers and DTs are dropping in. Facts.
Welcome back to the 2026 NFL Draft in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where the Houston Texans general manager Nick Caserio already worked this back. Last year he made 8 trades in the first draft. He's now made 25 trades in the last 5 drafts, and he's already made his first draft trade, moving up in this draft to get Keelan Rutledge. We also saw the Dolphins' new general manager John Eric Sullivan make his first 2 trades. Back to you, Greeny.
All right, Shefty's Inside Report brought to you by Marriott Bonvoy, and the commissioner making his way to the podium here for the 49ers selection at 27.
With the 27th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Chris Johnson, defensive back, San Diego State.
All right, so the California kid stays in California, grew up in Long Beach, and a 2-year starter at San Diego State, where he was the Mountain West co-defensive player as a senior. Now he had 4 interceptions, 2 sixes, and a sack.
He's an ascending player, has been Colton Hood, cornerback, Tennessee, and Trady Stoops, a corner safety out of Arizona. But for Chris Johnson, 6 foot, 193 pounds, ran 4.43 at the combine with a 31-inch arm. So he has the length you look for. Watch him here as he tracks the ball and late. Doesn't get handsy, grab, intercepts the football. So I like the fact that when you come into the NFL, some of these college kids, they're heavily penalized because they can't locate the ball, and they panic a little bit at the end of the round. He does his footwork very good. He was a very willing participant in run support, very sound tackler, and the way he made plays on the ball on a consistent basis through, as a former defensive back like you are, you got to love it. You see it here. You saw it throughout the year. Boise State game, he had 6 solo tackles and a pass breakup. He was outstanding against Cal, had a pick 6 and another pass breakup in that game. He kept getting better and better, and to test the way he did, run that 4-4 with the length he has. He got in, like I say, with Trady Stoops from Arizona and Colton Hood, Tennessee, as guys you are hearing, gaining momentum for the late first round.
And he's one of those guys who really likes to sit on route, likes to be a real aggressive on the short and intermediate game. He's a guy who finishes really strong at the catch points, real good instinct. Once he gets the ball in his hands, he's a guy who's a threat to take it to the house. He ran a lot faster than I thought he looked on tape. But yeah, I think down here, when you're talking about picking, pick 27 that we're at right now, this is good value for them in a position that they need. He's got all the measurables, and he's got some ball skills.
Oh, we've had another trade here. So The Bills had moved back to number 28 with the Texans, and now they've traded back again. The Patriots have moved up, so New England trading inside the division with Buffalo and set to make their first selection of the night. So the Patriots 31, a few spots to 28, trading inside the division with the Bills. So the Pats, who were in the Super Bowl a year ago, will make their first selection of the night.
Chris Johnson is my guy as well. Yeah, we have for a top 30 visit too.
With the 28th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Caleb Lomu, tackle.
He started 24 straight games at left tackle for an outstanding offensive line over the last 2 years. The opposite bookend to Spencer Fano. Lomu did not allow a single sack last year on his way to being named first team All Big 12.
Guys just add a little weight to that frame and get a little stronger, and I think that will assist him in becoming a heck of a player. Didn't allow a sack this year. 2-year starter at left tackle. Remember, Spencer Fano was on the right side because Caleb Lomu did such a solid job at that left tackle spot. As a run blocker, I like his ability to wall off the opponent. Power quotient, as I said, is the big factor right now working against him. He's got to get in weight and get a little stronger. He could probably add 10 pounds easily to that frame. And pass protection, though, that's where he excels. He can mirror. His lateral quickness allows him to take away the edge and take away that inside move as well. Technique is very sound. Now, power will give him trouble. And that's the issue I have right now with him, Lou.
Yeah, he's 6'6", 313, right? You're right. He's one of those guys when you watch him, you go, does he ever really show you any nasty coming off the ball? The ability, the desire to want to put somebody in the ground. But he's just so efficient and he's effective. You go, okay, I'll take that. But there's more in him to come, especially from an aggressiveness standpoint, which I think will take his game to another level.
All right, Kansas City is on the clock. The Chiefs will make their second pick of the night. But Caleb Lomu is headed to the AFC Champs. And the celebration is on. And the draft continues in just a moment.
Forget the warm-up. DirecTV got hot. They're on fire with more MLB games than anyone. Welcome to the big leagues, kid.
How old are you?
11.
Shit. I don't know why I do. I keep doing it. I'm sorry. But well, I mean, the yeah, I'm telling you, it's a lot of. But I agree with what Greg said. The board was falling the way the Raiders wanted to fall. You know, of course, it's probably some guys that we probably would want. You feel me? But man, I'm trying to tell you, I think. I think we can be able to get some people, you know. Frank said we're Sacktown. Sacktown is at shenanigans. He's been talking about it for weeks. But he's at shenanigans, watching the draft with Jack Kenner. Shout out to Jack Kenner. Shout out to I don't know why I'm getting all these freaking. Now all of a sudden I'm getting these notifications. Crazy word. But man, I'm like, this draft is pretty dope. Man. People say I disagree. I think this draft class might do something. Talking about the draft and all certain players, especially in the first. I think they all want to do something. But yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait till tomorrow. First, we get to see Mendoza in the building. Probably gonna have a press conference. Hopefully, I'll be off work, but I'll definitely be, talking about that. We'll get to that. Yes, sir.
One to Las Vegas. The second was a big surprise indeed, and that was Ty Simpson, being selected number 13 to the LA Rams. So the two quarterbacks off the board tonight. We've had quite a bit of wheeling and dealing here late in this round one. So Kansas City is currently on the board. This is a spot that they occupy in a trade they made earlier this offseason with the Rams, but now the Jets have moved up a spot behind them. So the Jets will be picking at 30, but it's Kansas City who'll be making their next selection here after trading up earlier tonight to take Mansour Delane. So the Chiefs have been active. They got the defense desperately needed early in round one and now late in round one with their second first-round pick. We'll see which direction they choose to go. Here comes the commissioner to make the announcement.
With the 29th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Peter Woods, defensive tackle, Clemson.
Booger, his teammates call him a freak of nature with his size and athleticism. He was first-team All-ACC last year, 33 tackles, 2 sacks. He also ran for 2 touchdowns as a fullback in goal line situation.
You know what's amazing, Greeny? They call this man small. He measured in at 6'2", 298 pounds. He's got elite athletic ability. The 2025 season wasn't as good as 2024. We thought he was going to be a top 10 pick before the season. He has strong hands, the ability to control the offensive guard and understand how to make plays and play inside. He can make plays up and down the line of scrimmage. Did I mention the elite athletic ability? He's a defensive tackle that needs to be on the move. He can line up in the 3 technique and shift and slide inside and make a power stunt. He's got pass rush ability. He reminds me, Mel, a lot of Brady Jarrett, another Clemson guy that can rush inside, smaller guy that can get vertical. I think his best foot is in front of him. 2024 is the guy that I expect to get moving forward for Peter Woods.
Yeah, the production, bro. You put it on the tape and you said, okay, where's DJ Parker? Where's Peter Woods? The production wasn't there on a consistent basis. It wasn't even there when you look at certain games. You said he should be dominating the opponent. He's going up again. I don't know what happened. Something was affecting this Clemson Tiger football team. They were underachieving all year. We thought at some point it would click in with all the talent they had. But DJ Parker and Peter Woods, they didn't build on 2024 at all. That's why Woods, a potential top 10 pick in August, slid all the way into the late first. And TJ Parker, a top 5 top 10 pick in August, is still on the board here.
It was something that drove the coaching staff and just drove everybody around down there crazy because they figured, like, with all the different athletes that they had on the defensive side in particular. I remember seeing their game against Georgia Tech in Atlanta, and they just got taken apart up front. And I'm sitting there going, how is this happening? This guy slimmed down. When he gets up off the ball, gets upfield, I literally typed in my notes, it's Aaron Donald like when he gets upfield. But then he just disappeared for like long stretches. Kansas City's going to have to tap into him. Him and Chris Jones together, that could be a scary combination if they can get the best out of it.
There are 3 picks left in round one. Mel's best available, brought to you by Marriott Bonvoy. Mel.
Big wide out. He catches the football. That's 21 touchdowns over the last 2 years as Denzel Boston. Then you see the defensive end, Zion Young, he culture talk. Jadarian Price, you'll see it's going to be a Seattle Seahawks. They need a running back. Price is an attacker on the line of scrimmage, has to cut down on the fumbles, and he's got more experience catching the ball. But as a pure running back, he's outstanding.
All right, the New York Jets, as I mentioned, have moved up here, so they're going to make their 3rd pick in this first round. They went defense at number 2 overall, taking the edge pass rusher David Bailey. They took Kenyon Sadiq at 16. And here we go with the commissioner for the Jets pick at number 30.
With the 30th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Omar Cooper Jr., wide receiver, Indiana.
You see the Jet fans excited And there's good reason for that. He's from Indianapolis. He had been in Bloomington since 22, but really exploded this year playing with Fernando Mendoza. Led the Hoosiers with 69 catches, 13 touchdowns, and he ran for one more.
I like this pick here because I thought at one point he could go top 16. 35 is where he was on the board. I kept thinking, I like this because it's a third round pick. Then I bumped into the second. Then people are talking about maybe the top 16. Lou, they're going to be a Jet 16 near the end of round one. He came through for Fernando Mendoza. He had a huge catch here against Penn State late. He did have 3 drops. It's all those drops, but overall, he was pretty consistent catching the football. What he does, he gets like Makai Lemon, a lot of yards after the catch. He has that first. He ran really well, ran a 4.41. Same here, tough to get to the ground, just like Makai Lemon with the ball in his hand after the catch. Omar Cooper became the guy. It was supposed to be Elijah Surratt back in August in Indiana. He'll probably end up being a third-round pick, Surratt. Cooper Jr. became the #1 go-to wideout in Indiana for Fernando Mendoza.
He's a stud, man. He a stud. The run after the catch, that's what it's all about. His pro day, the routes that he ran when Fernando was going to him out there in Bloomington, he looked great. This had a really strong year, just a really strong player. You got to tip your cap to the Jets right now, okay? David Bailey, Kenyon Sadiq, Omar Cooper Jr., that's a pretty darn good haul for the first round on night one. You got 3 starters right there. You got 3 starters who played their rear ends off in this past college football season. You can't really do any better than that if you're the New York Jets. The only other position that they would obviously like to address is quarterback, but man, that's 3 really, really good players right there.
So teams are obviously late in this first round identifying and making moves for them. The Jets did that, and the Titans now appear to have done the same. They've traded up into this spot here at number 31. So I believe the Titans will be making the next pick here. The monitor's still showing Buffalo, but it is Tennessee that has moved into this spot. So they'll have their selection in a moment. The Titans earlier this evening at number 4 took Carnell Tate, the wide receiver out of Ohio State. So they went offense the first time around. Mel, what were we looking at here for Tennessee?
Yeah, you know what they needed?
31.
Yeah, edge rusher was a big thing for Tennessee. Right off the edge can get after the quarterback. Interior of the offensive line. Then we talked about linebacker, Lou.
Yep. Yeah, defense looks, I mean, look, if you're Robert Saleh, you're sitting there going, hey, look, I need to get some dude. I need somebody to help out, as you talked about, Boog. I need somebody to help out Jeffrey Simmons. I need a playmaker. Who's the best available on the board here at this point? That's what they got to be looking at.
Yeah, I think if you're they've identified somebody that they want. The fact that they move back into this spot, they've identified somebody. Robert Saleh needs somebody up front that brings some juice. We know he wants to rush forward and get after the quarterback. It'll be interesting to see who this pick is.
We have 1 player left in our green room for whatever that is worth. It's Keldrick Fall. So he's 1 player that remains in the green room tonight with 2 selections remaining. We have the Titans on the clock here at 31, and then the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks will make the last pick of round 1 in what has been a fast-moving and very interesting first round.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, I'll tell you, day 2, because there's 2 corners, defensive backs were on the board that were red hot. Colton Hood from Tennessee and Trayden Stoops from Arizona, corner safety. So day 2, that second round area, these kids are going to come off the board.
Yeah, the top of the second is always one of the most fun areas of the draft to really focus on, because that's where guys who really have first-round ability but have some kind of chink in the armor that knocks them down just to that second.
We'll be here for you tomorrow night with every single selection of rounds 2 and 3. But we're not quite done with round 1 yet. Here we go. Here comes Roger Goodell to announce the Titans pick at number 31, round 1 here in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, before the Titans pick, congratulations, you set a record for the first night of the draft. 320,000 people here tonight. Congratulations, Pittsburgh. Awesome. With the 31st pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Keldrick Falk, defensive end, Auburn.
And so every player who came to the draft this season heard his name called on night one. Keldrick Falk is 6'6", 276 pounds. He played 3 years at Auburn, started the final 32 games of his career, and had 10 sacks.
I'll tell you what, you talk about an LTPer, he looks the part. Why didn't he produce better results? That's kind of the theme of some of these defensive linemen like Peter Wood, looking at TJ Parker. Keldrick Falk, when you look as good and you test as well as he did, and you have versatility to go inside, and you're playing college football, why Lou Weidberg wasn't any more productive? He did not build at all in 2024.
You know, sometimes when you have young players now, it takes them a little bit of time to develop. We know it's in there. At his best, he reminds me of Eric. Like at his best, a guy that long, he has inside-outside versatility. He can play defensive end. I think right now he's best inside, rushing over the guard until he develops his pass rush move. His best football is in front of him, and I can't wait to see what Robert Saleh does when he lights the fire under him.
You know, hey, considering how Robert Saleh likes defensive lines to play, Gus Bradley, this right here, that's the perfect place for this guy.
Yeah.
Just to say, hey, look, right, get up on your toes, get up on your front head, and go.
Yeah.
Don't sit there reading stuff. You're not trying to two-gap anybody. Get that 6'6" body going upfield and just wreck some stuff. If you play alongside Jeffrey Simmons, that's a pretty good mentor right there.
Well, congratulations to Keldrick Falk. I'd like to correct something I said a moment ago with my apology. There are still 2 players who are here in the green room and have not heard their name called yet, Caden McDonald and Colton Hood. So we'll see if their names are called. We have 1 selection left tonight, and then tomorrow night, obviously, rounds 2 and 3. So I apologize. I was looking at the wrong list there. So there are still 2 players who are in the green room waiting to hear their names called, which they certainly will be between tonight and tomorrow. Keldrick Falk, meanwhile, going to Tennessee.
Well, I think you look at edge rusher was their big need area. He fits the bill of that if he can be productive. If
He's
he
in
can
that
take
green room still. He's
and go
going
out
to
and
the Super
perform to the level expected. And again, you got coaches in this league. They're some of the best coaches in the world.
Lord Dizzy in the building.
Just get out of rush the pass. Like Kieran Crawford, better player. I'm watching for 15. I'm saying 24.
Yeah. You know, a year ago, though, I remember I was down at Auburn against the late game against Texas A&M. And Keldrick Falk, I'm telling you, you're sitting there going, who's number 15? I mean, he is the dude. But you're right. Look, he's at the right place. Because the combination of Robert Saleh and Gus Bradley, come on now. That right there, they'll get him going. And they're going to move him up and down the line of scrimmage. Again, next to Jeffrey Simmons, he's got all the tools in the world. He's got them all. And when we talk about matching people up with the right system and the right people, if they can't get it out of him, nobody will.
They just don't make many people that look like him. 6'5", 285, 34-inch arms. They don't make many people with that athletic ability, that size. I think that his ceiling is the sky. He can go as high as he wants to go, especially with those measurables.
Good night for the Titans here again. Another of those teams made an offseason coaching change. Robert Saleh taking over. They go offense early. Carnell Tate, dependable wide receiver. Now Keldrick Falk. And Marriott Bonvoy takes us down to Laura Lowledge, who has Keldrick with her now.
You said in kindergarten that you wanted to play in the NFL. Tonight, that dream becomes a reality. How would you describe it?
I don't even know how to feel right now. I'm like, I don't even know. I'm happy.
You should be happy. And your versatility is a defining feature of your game, your ability to line up inside and outside along the D line. How do you think Robert Saleh can get the best out of you?
Just about putting me where we win. And then using me all across the D line. This is what I do, and that's how I play.
Congratulations.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
This is the second time in the common draft era that 7 different teams have made multiple first-round picks. It happened in 2022, and now it happens again here with teams making their trades. And in fact, the Jets have made 3 picks tonight. So we've had a few teams hogging up a good deal of the first-round spotlight. And we finished the first round tonight with the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
You won that 36.
Team that went the distance last year. Remarkable run. Quarterback Sam Darnold and company. See which direction they choose to go. They have that dominating defense
to the Seahawks.
Help them make that run through the loaded NFC West and the tough NFC playoff picture. A lot of directions they might go here. They obviously have the magnificent receiver in Jackson Smith-Njigba. Quickly, Mel, what direction are we looking at?
Running backs lead area, Jadarian Price, Notre Dame. We talked about the cornerback spot. Holton Hood has the kind of length, and Trayton Stoops from Arizona does as well. So I think those are some guys that kind of fill the void of what they need at running back and cornerback if they want to go that direction.
All right, here we go. The commissioner and a special guest to announce the final pick of round one of this year's draft.
As we conclude round one of the 2026 NFL Draft, we're proud to continue recognizing our long-standing partnership with Make-A-Wish this World Wish Month. I'm thrilled to be joined by Dylan, a huge fan of the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks, bravely battled a brain tumor, and is now a two-time cancer survivor. Woo! This is a wish come true for Dylan and a chance to take part in one of the most exciting moments in our league. Dylan, when you're ready, stage is yours.
What's going on, Pittsburgh? Yeah! I'm so excited to be here to represent the 12s.
Let's see.
Oh, and the reigning Super Bowl champion, Seattle Seahawks! And with that, with the 32nd pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Jadarian Price, Notre Dame, running back.
I knew he was going.
Accounted for 15 touchdowns last year, rushing, receiving, and 2 of them on kick returns. A note, this is the first time in the common draft era that the top 2 running backs are taken from the same school. I love going early and with the final pick Price.
I saw a while a big Notre Dame Fighting Irish fan, and I love Dorian Price's attacking style. What he needs to work on is ball security and get more reps catching the ball. But as I said, as a pure running, Dorian Price is going to be a tough guy to handle. Watch him here. He's got change of direction, he's got first, and he will run hard and he will break tackles. He's got all the way potential, both as a runner and as a kick returner, really. So he just going to be Jeremiah Love is the pass receiving option. He's got to get more experience there. He did have 4 fumbles, 3 costly fumbles inside the red zone area, inside the 10. So those fumbles and ball security's got to improve for Jadarian Price. He's got to get a little bit better at that blocking across the pass throw. But running the football, he does it like just about everybody's better than anybody's college football. This year, except for Jeremiah Love.
He's a home run hitter, man. 4.45 speed. A lot of positives. That's a great pickup.
My bad, too.
So the Notre Dame Fighting Irish had 2 running backs going round 1 tonight, Jeremiah Love and now Jadarian Price. Last time the Irish had 2 running backs in the same draft was 93. Jerome Bettis and Reggie Brooks. 33 drafts later, history has repeated itself. We'll be back in Pittsburgh in just a moment.
Yep. Yeah, we chilling, bro. Enjoying this draft, man. Enjoying this draft. What's up with you, though, man? What you been on? What you been on? Shout out to the one you love and hate, man. Shout out to the girl. You say he was high on Price as well. Price deserves to be drafted first round. I kind of knew he was going to be drafted first round. You feel me? So,
out to you.
Ty going to the Rams. You can't say that. I'm gonna say it. Are you kidding me? It shocked the heck out of me. I thought they would go for a hole fill, get a wide receiver to help out that offense with Matthew Stafford, like Mekhi Lemon, right? Like Mekhi Lemon, get an offensive lineman like Monroe Freeling, right? No, they're getting the heir apparent. Come on.
What did you think, brother?
I thought the Giants, the Jets, and the Titans had a great night. I have no idea what the hell the Rams are doing. I know the Rams.
I know the Rams are doing.
I have no idea what the Rams
Ty
are doing.
Simpson's camp thought he was going to do. I love it. The Jets, your Jets, David Bailey, Kenyon City, Omar Cooper Jr. Those are three good players, man. You got to like them.
It was a fascinating night. 7 teams made multiple picks. 8 teams didn't make a pick at all. And that's been our coverage of the 2026 NFL Draft presented by Bud Light for tonight for this outstanding crew. I'm Mike Greenberg saying good night from Pittsburgh. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll be back tomorrow night for more of the same rounds 2 and 3. It's back and better than ever. But right now, let's send it back home. It's time for Sports Center. Here's Scott Van Pelt. Scotty, take it away.
Greeny, thank you very much. A look at downtown.
well, that is the end of it. Said, okay. What is available on day 2? Do we trade back or stay put? Said, I think we stay put. Those guys overreacting unnecessary. That's crazy. I think we stay put though. I think we stay put and get the best D tackle. I ain't lying. I was drafting Chris Johnson a lot. Shot rating night in the building. I got a few more minutes and then I gotta take it down. I gotta work in the morning. I was drafting Chris Johnson a lot. Pick 36 over the last week. I didn't even think of Chris Johnson, but I don't know. Let's see if I hit the second on day 2. I had Lee Hunter. I had Caleb Banks in a lot of them, but majority I had Lee Hunter. So let's see. The ones that I didn't trade back with, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we got Mendoza, y'all. Let's see what day 2 brings us. I'm happy with the pick. I ain't gonna lie, I'm definitely happy with the pick. I love some McDonald's as well in Vegas. Excuse me, sorry. McDonald's Boston for reals. I like Elijah Surratt. I ain't gonna lie, I like Elijah Surratt better than Boston. I would feel more comfortable getting Elijah Surratt, and we get him in the third. I say we get what we need first 2 rounds. You know what I'm saying? I really want to trade. I really hope we trade back third so we can get a safety. Cause I want us to get Kamari Ramsey. I think Kamari Ramsey is fine. If we can somehow, I don't even care. I would move back. I would move back up and then excuse me. I would trade all 3 picks to jump back in the third. I mean, all 3 fourth round picks to jump back in the third and go get Kamari Ramsey. With his mad receivers coming up, that's out now. You feel me? You got let me see. You got Ted Hurst. You got Jacoby. What's his name? Jacoby Lane. You got a couple guys out there, man. If we don't get wide receiver, I like Lane in the third. Even go after your boy Kilgore. I mean, I'll go Kilgore in the fourth. If we get corner, I don't want him at safety. I want him at corner. Now, if they decide to put him at safety, if it works, you know what I mean? But I'm thinking Elijah Surratt in the third. Yeah. Elijah Surratt in the third. Or we go corner, we go Diego Pons. Another Indiana guy. I wonder who's going to be left, though. You still got Dominic Orange. You still got Dante Corleone. You still got Christian Miller, too. Bush Raider, what it do, bro? What's happening? Child Bush Raider in the building. But, yeah, I'm telling you. But this is just the beginning, you know. This is just the beginning. Mendoza, man, he's the future, you know, and I can't wait to see. How about McCoy corner? I mean, if his knee tests out pretty well, then fine. But I can see him dropping like later. Like if we can get him later in the draft, like 4th, 5th, one of the 4s or the 5th, I'm with it. I want Cam McDaniel, Cole Hood, Man McNeil Warren, Jeremy Bernard, wide receiver at 36 tomorrow. I mean, we can only pick one Bush. So out of all those guys, who you interested more in? Bush said he want all those guys at pick 36, and he don't care how it gets it done. McDonald, which I ain't mad at. I mean, I like him, but I think Lee Hunter better. I'm high on McDonald. A lot of people are high on McDonald. I like McDonald, but I don't like him like. I think Lee Hunter is better. He bigger. He got his arm length is longer. He's violent with everything he does, man, and he'll go great with Max, man. I'll tell you. You see Max knocked on wood when Mendoza was drafted. Oh, really? No, I didn't see it. I just watched nothing but the draft, bro. I didn't watch nothing else. But that's dope. He wants Mendoza, man. Look, he's all in, bro. He wasn't at first. Now he's seeing what's going on. He's all in. Bush said, that's what I'm saying. I want one of those 4 at 36. Any one of those will do. Okay. Red Knight said AOC was on the couch eating Doritos and drinking Mountain Dew. Yeah, I know. He like, frag it. It's over. Bush Raider said, Greg Facts, I wanted McDonald before the combine, even before the combine. I mean, does he have a pass rush, though? Yeah, that's between y'all, Greg. I don't got nothing to do with that, bro. That's between y'all. Yeah, you're right. But why is it eating you up that whatever he says, why are you taking so much offense of what he's saying? Like, if that's his opinion as a scout, that's his opinion. I don't know why you taking it like, I don't know, bro. But that ain't got nothing to do with me, because I'm focused on day 2, bro. I understand everybody stays open-minded, but everybody has an open mind in a different way. Your way of thinking ain't his way of thinking. My way of thinking ain't his way of thinking or your way of thinking. My way of thinking ain't what Bush Raider is thinking. We all have an open mind, but it's different. But you taking things out of like proportion, I don't know, bro. Like, you keep reporting stuff to me, like I don't know what's going on. I'm focusing on what I'm doing right now. I don't know. Shout out to East Coast, that's my bro, you know what I'm saying? But whatever y'all got, that's between y'all. Best cornerback will be Cone Hood. McCoy is better, but has injury concerns. Yeah, I know. He said due to straight tripping. Yeah, I know. Because he likes to shut my players of studies down automatically. So what? He does that to everybody. You ain't the only one. You think you're the only one he does that to? No, you're not the only one he does that to. Bush Raider said, McDonald is the best true nose tackle and run stopping defensive tackle in the draft. So that's not being the best nose tackle if you can't pass. Like, you need a pass rush. He doesn't have a pass rush. Everybody I've seen does studies on said he does not have a pass rush. That's why I haven't said anything about him. Lee Hunter, well, technically, if you want to think about it, Caleb Banks is the best D tackle, and because he does everything. He can play nose tackle also. He's the best D tackle in the league. I mean, in this draft, if you want to be honest. And I think Lee Hunter is the second. But McDonald is not a bad defensive tackle. I would put him third. But if he don't got no type of pass rush where you can't help out, I mean, what's the point? I mean, we here to. I mean, we need to get to the quarterback also. I can dig it, bro. I feel you. Frank said this is the Raider Nation. No one wins. Yo, my shit man slow. This is the Raider Nation. No one wins unless everyone wins. That's facts. Definitely facts. I visit Broncos and Chiefs YouTube channel to level up my game. I don't do nobody else's channel. If it's anything, I do Raiders, but Raider content creators, or I do my own studies. But I ain't going on nobody else's channel, on another team's channel. That's just not me. I ain't never even had a channel, so I ain't gonna never do that. But to each his own, man. To each his own. However you get opinions, that's how you get it. You feel me? I ain't knocking nobody's way of getting their information or the level of knowledge. You feel me? I just know what I do. McDonald stops the run and hold up teams to free up DN linebackers. I mean, Bush. Look, you know, I respect your knowledge, and I respect your opinion, right? But I mean, I get it. I think Lee Hunter is a better defense team. He's a true nose tackle at that. He's 6'5", 335 pounds, something like that. Like, he's a true nose tackle, bro. And he's disrupted. I'm not saying McDonald is not disrupted, but in the run, I'm talking about both. He's disrupted in the pass game, and he's disruptive in the run game also. No disrespect to McDonald, though. I like McDonald. See, this is the same thing I was doing with the Mendoza and Ty Simpson thing. Like, I like Ty Simpson more, but I also like Mendoza. And I'm gonna say the same thing. If we do get McDonald, I'm cool with that. You feel me? I just like Lee Hunter better. I'm not saying he don't have good tape. I'm just saying he does not. He does not have no type of pass rush, bro. That's it. That's my opinion. Well, wouldn't it be better if you have a D tackle that could do both? Like, that's what I'm saying. You got a D tackle that could do both, bro. Behind Caleb Banks, Lee Hunter is the best defensive tackle on the board. No hate on Ty Simpson. I love that he went to the Rams. I knew he was going. I had a feeling. Well, I said this a long time ago. I said if like a month ago, I said if you go to the Rams, they don't win the Super Bowl this year, they'll probably win one next year. I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding why y'all are not hear what I'm saying. Why wouldn't you want a D tackle to do both? Why wouldn't you want a D tackle to do both, bro? This is what I'm saying. Thank you, Frank. He's like he's the next. If you want to go best player available, Lee Hunter is the next best player available, bro. And he came in for a top 30 visit. If we go best player available, Lee Hunter is at 36, bro. I don't understand why y'all don't know. Bro, you can get better. You can get better in the run. That's nothing. Getting taught up and getting better in the run game, that's nothing. But he's still solid and he's still good. He's disruptive, bro. That man is disruptive. That's on your board. Every board I went to, Lee Hunter was the best player available before McDonald. I understand that, Bush. I understand that. I definitely understand that. And I feel the same way. I wouldn't mind Cade McDonald either. I just like Lee Hunter more. Exactly, Frank. Exactly. Exactly. He's good to go on any down or distance. And that's it. I didn't see him split through mad defensive. And then not only is you picking one of the second best defensive tackle in the draft, you pairing him with his old teammate and talking anyway. Come on, man. Tell me you wouldn't want to see Tonka and Lee Hunter side by side again. That's crazy. So everybody mess around get Zion Young. I don't know. Nobody talks about Zion Young because I mean I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna say nobody cares, but hey, my man Clutch, what it do, bro? Come on, man. What is shit always doing? I can't wait to get a new computer, I'm telling you. My man Clutch in the building, bro. What's happening with you, man? Hey, man, I'm going to give you a call this weekend, man. I've been busy at work, man. And, my wife injured her back, so I've been trying to help her out and stuff. So I've been a little busy and, doing the podcast and stuff. So, but I'm definitely going to shoot you a holler come this weekend, man. If you want, man, I'll shoot you the link tomorrow. We can do something tomorrow if you want. Just let me know, bro. Frank said D tackle is our number one need now. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro. You see what the Chiefs did. You see what the what's the name. You see what the Chargers did. Man, come on. Denver can't do. They trade away first round pick for Jay Waddle. So, see, I bet there we go. It's still not Max's thing. It's that's a wrap, bro. I don't know why. Please don't nobody bring that up no more. Like, I don't understand why y'all don't know that man's not going anywhere anymore. If they can't get 2 firsts for him, which nobody's going to give him 2 firsts, then it's a wrap, bro. He's not going nowhere. The man is here. So enough of that. If y'all want to keep talking trade, super chat. No, I know. The defensive tackle, if it's the best player available, then Lee Hunter is the guy, yo. Chiefs put a stud right for the little ball. Little ball go smoking, yo. Linderbaum know what it is, man. He went against the best D tackles, bro. Salute guys, seen my new number. Just got cleared from surgery. Hell yeah, I'm down, bro. Just let me know I'm down. All right, yeah, tomorrow just shoot me a text if you didn't already. If you did, shoot me a holler. Shoot me a text and let me know it was you. You feel me? How the board is, we can't go wrong either way. We need wide receiver, D tackle, DB. They're all there tomorrow. Look, I wouldn't mind us going to get Lee Hunter and then turn around and get Elijah Surratt, bro. I just wouldn't mind it. I just think that would be really good. That would be a really good pickup right there. Hopefully, Kamari Ramsey is there at pick with the 4th round in the 4th. Hopefully, if not, it's all good. But or Zaki Wheatley, one of them. Caleb Downs and Thinman. They off the board. What about Bud Clark or something? Maybe Bud Clark. I like them type guys. McNeil Warren is pretty good, but I don't know. I kind of like Kamara, like guys like Kamara Ramsey, Zaki Wheatley, Bud Clark is solid. What if we mess around and trade back like we did last year? We'd be a fool. Well, everybody who just dropped to the 2nd round would be nuts to do that. I'm telling you, it would be nuts. We need to stay put. We're going to trade back. I don't know. At least, if we're going to trade back, at least do it. Let's just at least get the first 2 out the way. Then if you want to trade back, if it's something, you know what I mean? But somebody got to give us something good. We're going to get an extra 3rd or not an extra 3rd, but an extra 4th, extra 5th. You feel me? What's the name? Might swing 2/3 that way. You never know. He did it last year. He got a 3rd, another 3rd, and a 4th. or 3rd and 2/4 or something like that. 2/3 and a 4th. Something, it was something like that. Get your boy Kilgore. I mean, he's not a safety though. Like, he's not a safety, you know. He's a corner. I mean, he could play safety. I've seen some tape on him where he plays it. He could play safety, but we'll see. Yeah, I'll cut my hair tomorrow. I'm gonna do it tomorrow night. I'll take an extra 3rd, you know? That's what I'm saying. But we have to get I want something like an extra 3rd and a 4th. So we gotta see. We gotta see what happens, y'all. Well, it's 10:40, man. I gotta get some sleep. I appreciate everybody pulling up, man. Definitely appreciate everybody pulling up. I will be on tomorrow for round 2 and 3. Definitely gonna be up later than that because I don't have to work Saturday. So shoot, let's get it, man. Let's get it. But yeah, man, shout out to the chat. You know, usually shouts out the chat, but I'm gonna shout them out. Shout out to the chat coming through, man, kicking in with me, watching the draft with me, you know, covering the draft for the second time. You know, it's a dope thing, you know. So I definitely appreciate everybody pulling up. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you ain't subscribed already. And become a member, become a member. Don't cost that much, you know. You don't even want to become a member, just hit the like button, that's free. I mean, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button, man, so that's free. Frank said, thanks as well, my friend. Nah, man, thank you. And y'all make sure y'all have a good night, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow. With that being said, y'all know what it is. Your Raiders. Yes, sir. Well, man, y'all have a blessed one. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.